Let's do it.
Yo, everybody, welcome in. Welcome to the panel. We back for yet another day. You see the title of the show. Draymond says Wembanyama is not, and I repeat, not the defensive player of the year in the NBA. We'll definitely get into that. He said some other things too that related to Jayson Tatum and MVP talks and all of that good stuff. But before we do that, what's going on, fellas? How you guys doing today?
I want to. Ron, you came in yesterday talking about how the Celtics were frauds because they lost by 1 point to the Cavs, and then you was talking about how the Bucks, and you was talking about how the Bucks are this just great team who gonna come out of the East. They lost by 35 to the team Boston beat by 52.
Smoke them, Mars.
So mathematically, that means Boston would beat them by 87. Mathematically, so can we keep the same energy, Ron? Can we talk about the Milwaukee Bucks, or are we just going to ignore that because it doesn't fit the agenda? Just genuinely curious.
We don't need to ignore it, but what exactly do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about if this is evidence that the Bucks are frauds and that come playoff time they're not going to show up, and that Giannis just doesn't have the answers in the playoffs, or that Damian Lillard's going to fold because they lost by 35 to the Golden State Warriors.
Well, you see, the thing is, Giannis was fresh off an injury. So, he's still getting back to, fully recovering. On top of that, Doc Rivers had the flu last night, so he wasn't able to fully coach. And then Dame had to carry the team the night before. So, his shoulders was a little hurt. So, you know how that be sometimes.
You mean 2 days ago? When did Dame carry the team last night? What was Dame doing the night before that he had to carry? I'm trying to figure out. Wasn't he at home chilling? Mark, he said all he does is he just plays video games now. He can't go out in Milwaukee. So what was he doing?
Mm-hmm. That's all he doing.
I just find this very interesting, but I mean,
that's all he doing.
Nah. The Bucks definitely need to perform better. That was despicable last night. They got their asses kicked. No excuses. I once again, I came in here, kicked the door down on the Celtics. Y'all deserve to kick the door down on the Bucks with me.
But can't we just agree on this though? I think more than anything else that the West is just so much more skilled than the Eastern Conference, just all the way around. I think they really had some difficulty dealing with the Warriors yesterday. They did a good job of building that wall defensively. I think Giannis is a little bit hampered, but they just showed up, man. They threw a lot of bodies at their players every time they tried to score. I think the Warriors had honestly, that's probably one of their best wins of the year. I don't know, Mark. You obviously watched the Warriors even more than all of us. I feel like that's probably one of the three most important wins they've had this season. I know some Warriors fans are going away after that Boston game. They felt like they get, a little bit of rest, and then they get Milwaukee coming back in to the house. I think they just felt like that would be the best opportunity for them to get a win, and they did. And they showed they took care of business.
I thought they did a great job yesterday of speeding the game up more than anything. I thought Golden State did a great job of speeding the game up and attacking mismatches. The mismatch that I felt like they attacked the most was Malik Beasley. They straight went after him yesterday. More than anybody. They went after him and they made him defend. And we can't leave out a guy, Malik Beasley, who your job primarily is to shoot the basketball. Just so you know, Swiper, over the last, I believe, 5 games, he's 22% on the long ball. I think he's 7 for like 35. So we're not getting much out of him. And on top of that, we also dealing with a guy who doesn't defend much, right? Bobby Portis has actually been giving them good minutes. But yesterday, they did a real good job at holding Milwaukee to one shot, not just one shot, but speeding the game up. That really screwed them up yesterday. And the fact that they got smoked by 35, is this a trend going on? Because we've seen a lot of teams getting blown out. Didn't we just see Toronto just smoke Indiana by almost 40? Like, what's going on? What's happening right now?
But Chill, do you know, and I thought this was interesting, do you know who has the best 5-man lineup in basketball with over like 500 minutes played this season? The best 5-man lineup in basketball?
The best 5-man lineup.
I mean, maybe before yesterday, but could you guess who it might be?
Minnesota.
No, it's actually the Bucks. The Bucks were like a plus, I want to say like a plus 15 or a plus 16 on the season or something like that. So it's the Malik Beasley Dame lineup with I think it's with Jay Crowder, it's with Giannis, and then with Chris Middleton when they're all playing on the court together.
Shout out Jay Crowder.
Yeah, they've been really good. But it's been their bench issue that's been some of the biggest issue. Now, I think the 3 best lineups in the league so far on net rating standpoint have been the Milwaukee Bucks. It's been the Denver Nuggets, like a plus 14.5 or something. Well, they just lost every day, so that might come down a little bit. And then on top of that, you're going to have the Los Angeles Clippers And then the Boston Celtics, I think, are going to be in the top 4 or top 5. So a lot of this is.
Do you know what lineups those are exactly? Like for the Clippers, for the Celtics,
so
and then
the
for the
Celtics,
Nuggets?
Yeah, Derek White, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jayson Tatum, and Kristaps Porzingis. So like a plus 14.5 or whatever. It's like a little less than that, but it's around that ballpark. And then the Clippers is going to be Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, James Harden, Ivica Zubac, and what's the
Norman
name?
Powell?
No, not Norman Powell.
Terrence Mann.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think those are 4 best. And do you know that, just off the wall, one of the best clutch teams defensively this year, besides the Nuggets, has been Chicago Bulls, man. That's because they throw Caruso, AO at you, and then they got with Vooch and everything. They just slow down the pace. Now, you know how my network marks. It's mostly just pace. Like, they're slowing it down.
Nah. That's all Caruso. Yeah.
Of course, it's all Caruso.
Yeah, my guy.
I got a couple super chats just to kick things off from the beginning. Jay Does It said, "Why ain't we talk about the Bookless Suns beating Denver?"
We could talk about that. No, we didn't talk about that yesterday. We kind of got wrapped up in other stuff, but we could talk about it. Let me tell you what they really wanted to. Can we talk about what they really wanted to talk about? They wanted to talk about KD. That's what they really wanted to talk about. Okay, so let's talk about KD, who had missed 10 straight shots in that game, but then got it going in overtime. Yes, he did. And I feel like when you're playing against a guy like KD, you could wear on him, right? And that's what happened in the middle of the game when he started missing those shots, because he got going early. And KD got one of those games where it ain't really much you could do with KD, especially particularly in the mid-range, right? When he get going, it's really nothing that you could do with him. The only thing that you can do with him is give effort. And when you give effort, you could wear on him. And that's what happened later on in the game. But then he got going again in the overtime. And he got going again in the overtime because Phoenix was able to get some mismatches where they ended up getting guys like Aaron Gordon, and then not just Aaron Gordon, they ended up getting Peyton Watson on him. So that really helped them. But for the most part, they fought back in that game. I mean, it was down 22 at one point. I thought the game was over. I was about to turn it off. Yeah. And that 22 turned into, I think, 17, and it turned into 10. And I'm like, uh-oh, here they come. So I think they did it. I think they did a damn good job yesterday of getting back in that game. 100% they did.
Yeah, I mean, so the Suns got up 21 in the third quarter, and I was at the game, and the Nuggets were down 15. They were down 65-50 at the half, and the Nuggets kind of played a really weird game. I'm not sure. Their defense was uncharacteristically bad in that first half. But y'all, I can tell y'all, man, every single time Grayson Allen touched the ball, at one point, everybody in the crowd was like, oh. Yeah, literally every time he touched the ball, that was the noise being in the arena, man. And I think a lot of this was like Grayson was 8 of 8 to start the game. It was like some of them were open, but some of them were like high contest, and it just didn't matter. Like he had one where he came off of DHO and was like fading back over his right shoulder on the left wing and just like threw it up like this, and it just all net, didn't hit the rim at all. So he's just incredible, man. And they just didn't play a smart first half, and I think the Suns, man, they were just about it because they had lost 2 straight. They had just lost to OKC, so I think they just had a little bit more incentive on their end in that first half, and the Nuggets just weren't playing right. Third quarter comes around, Nuggets get it down to 9. Jokic scores 11 points, I think almost 11 straight points almost. And then in the fourth quarter, I think the Nuggets held them to 12 points. So the Nuggets scored 12 or 14 points in the second quarter. The Suns scored 12 points in the fourth quarter. And so then there's this barrage for both teams for missing 3-pointers back and forth because they were in transition the entire game. And it was just like, I'm talking about Grayson Allen missing wide open, Michael Porter missing wide open, KCP missing wide open. It's like Kevin Durant missing wide open. And, Kevin Durant had 34 shots, scored 35 points, I think. So it was not an efficient night for him. I think he shot 41% from the field. But, he got one switch. In overtime, what happened was they conceded the switch between Aaron Gordon and Jamal. They hadn't been doing that. And literally, Jamal was 6'4". But, when Kevin Durant puts the ball up, he basically at 9.5 feet. And so he shot over, made that 3, and it was wraps. He made a 3. Bill made a 3. Bill made a bucket. KD made a bucket in the game.
Game over.
Okay. That's good to hear that, Bill. And I seen the highlights of it. I didn't exactly watch the game. But it's good because Bill didn't have a good game. It was really KD. KD came on late. Grayson Allen had a phenomenal game. Some other players played good too. But it was I like to see that Bill got it going in overtime. And he closed the game strong because they really need Bill over there. If they're gonna do anything, Bill really has to be a positive.
Do you think they're going to be they're 14-9 this year when Booker, Bill, and KD play. And some of their wins have been versus lower competition, but that's fine. That's about that's roughly about like a 62% win percentage, which would put them on pace for like a fair amount of wins this season. Do you feel confident that if they're only able to play like, I don't know, 7 games together the rest of this year because of Booker's injury or Bill or whatever, you think they'll be able to put it together for the playoffs, Ron?
I do. And it's not just those 3 for me though. It's once again, shout out to Grayson Allen. I said a few weeks back, well, I think a couple months ago, I said Grayson Allen was one of the best shooters in the league. Dub scoffed at me. Mars threw his hands in the air.
Might be right now the best, honestly.
I think he's leading the league in 3-point
I said that. Hey, Slim, I said, my bad. Swipe, I said that. Mm-hmm. And lo and behold, a couple days ago, Dub came back and said, yo, Grayson Allen is having one of the best shooting seasons in the. It's like I try to tell you guys that.
Buddy, how about that, clown? I hate you too. Just so you know, buddy, I hate you too, clown. Yep, I hate you too. Keep going, Ron. Keep focused, Ron. Keep focused, Ron. You too, clown. Yep, I hate you too, clown. You want to be a part of the show? We'll make you a part of the show, bozo. So keep going, Ron. Yep.
Shout out the chat. Shout out all the goofies. Shout out all the clowns. In particular, shout out all the real ones in the chat.
In particular, that one goofy buddy. Yep, we'll make you a part of the show, Goofy. Yes, we will. We'll definitely make your goofy ass a part of the show. Yes, we will. I told you yesterday, Ron. I got time today.
Oh,
I got time
this whole week.
I got time today, B.
Wait, hold on.
I'm no longer taking it from him.
Ron, chill. Give me a rundown. What I missed the last couple of days, man. Like there's some tenacity up in the room today. What's going on? What I missed the last couple of days?
Yesterday, Chill was just beating up on the chat per usual. That's nothing to.
Swipe, I sit here and I talk basketball with you dudes. A couple of days ago, when you was on Monday, we had a no, not, I don't know if it was you, and I'm sorry, Gifted was up here. We had a segment for about an hour and a half where we actually had some really good basketball dialogue. You know what these dudes is? Do you know what these goofies is doing in the chat? They in the chat with quote unquote chillisms and insulting me, and I'm like, yo, you dudes is missing some good basketball right here. Instead, you stupid asses in here paying attention to me instead of paying attention to what's actually going on, which is really good basketball talk. But I tell you what, this is the game that you guys want to play. I'm all for it because I can focus on two.
Chill, they be showing you love, though.
Yeah, Chill.
They really be showing you love.
You one of the favorite people. You one of the people's favorites in the Players' Choice community, man. Ever since I've been watching the show for.
It don't seem like it, to be honest with you, Swiper. It don't seem like.
But people don't make. But you know how this works. People don't make fun of people and don't come for people that they don't like or don't respect. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't get mentioned at all, that's more than likely you ain't pushing no weight around here. So the fact that you get mentioned all the time, that should be love. I mean, that's just how people talk. And most of these is kids anyway. That's in the chat. You know what I mean? You got a lot of people, some people your age, some people in the 20s and 30s and all that. Most of kids and teenagers in there.
Yeah. But anyway, Ron, he asked you a question about Denver. Let's get back focused because the show ain't about you, buddy. Just so you know, the show is about what we're talking about here. We're talking about basketball. So shut up and listen. You might learn something. So anyway, Ron, go ahead.
Yeah, but for me, it's more the supporting cast with the Suns, and I think they're highly underrated. With Nurkic, you've seen he grabbed 31 rebounds the other night, but Nurkic is consistent on the glass, and he can on any given night give you a 20-piece for them, and he just provides good minutes at the center position. Also, the Royce O'Neal pickup, I think that was major.
Yeah,
having
definitely.
Royce and Grayson and Eric Gordon, you got 3 snipers around your big 3. You got big Nurk. Also, I think Drew Eubanks is slept on. So I think between that combination of guys, I think they are all right.
Well, Ron, I would say too, you know, one of the big additions with Nurkic is very physical. Like, he's extremely physical. And I think he's not necessarily a good defender, but I would say that Nurkic is able to play that connected spot really well. He actually was getting extremely handsy. And I think Nurkic, again, people keep slipping. And like, matter of fact, let me say this. Let me be clear, Chill, because I know you're a LeBron fan. I'm a LeBron fan. I'm not bringing up the Lakers right now. I'm just bringing up I told people a couple of days ago that if you look at the 2-man game between Nurkic and Kevin Durant, they've been better this year than Anthony Davis and LeBron James. And the reason is they're like a +9 on the season. And I think the LeBron and AD are like +1.5. Now, again, some of that is context of the lineups and the fact that, like, you know, they've both dealt with injuries. I think that the Lakers have just underperformed across the years. But this isn't dismissing Anthony Davis and LeBron. But I think when you include Nurkic, Kevin Durant they have just been able to floor raise so well this year. And I think when they all have been on the court together, man, they have really just offered a lot of substance, especially because Nurkic is such a good rebounder. when you can end possessions and continue possessions, that means a lot for helping your team to get more winning plays. I think Kevin Durant, man, as a scorer, has been exceptional this year. He's been a really good decision maker. And again, man, y'all remember early season, he didn't have Booker or Beal. He was carrying.
Yes, he was.
And it was just him. So I think KD's having a slept-on year, man. I think he has arguably still been one of the 5 best players in basketball this year. I'm not saying consensus. I'm talking about just this season. And I think, honestly, if his team record was better,
We'd be having an MVP conversation about it.
Yes, I think that, we're and again, in the rankings, Tatum is 5th in the MVP ranking. I think if Kevin Durant was having a better season on record, I think he could be in the conversation with Tatum and then now with Luka in terms of overall impact on the season. Just because Kevin Durant defensively has been really good this year. He's been a great help side rim protector, offering a lot of versatility. He can switch well. But on the other end of this too, KD has some stinkers in here and so, but I think when you don't have, and again, Bill hasn't been a good initiator this year. Oh, I'm not going to hold on, bro. Bill, he's not he's a foul baiter extraordinaire, for real. He literally will
unethical buckets.
He will bypass a bucket in order to try to get a foul call. And I think Kevin Durant's the exact opposite, right? Kevin Durant, Jokic, LeBron, Steph Curry, there are other players that are of that archetype where they don't foul bait. Now you're going to foul them because you have to. Especially KD when he gets to the rim because he's just so big. But man, I think he deserves a lot more respect and a lot more love for how good he's been. And I think for him and Nurkic and Booker and Beal and Royce O'Neal, that lineup has been lights out when they played since Royce got there 10 days ago or 10 days ago.
It's so relieving. It's a breath of fresh air. I swipe up here, somebody not hating on the Suns for no reason. It's beautiful, Swipe. I just want to say I'm happy that you're up here showing some love. I've been trying to do it all season, but and people they wouldn't allow me to. Swipe.
I think that is it fair to say that Kevin Durant, very much like Joker, very much like Luka, has been a victim of his own success. So what you just brought up, Swipe, about how good he's been. He's been so good for this long that it's almost like it's tiresome now. We kind of used to it. You've been this good for so long that it kind of goes by the wayside. We don't where people don't even recognize it. He's 27 a game for the last 16 years, 15 years, and it's almost like it's just daily. It's just something that he does. So we don't really take into consideration how awesome this actually is. That he's doing this. That there's not a lot of guys that's this good. And the same thing was going on when he was in Brooklyn. He was one of the best weak side defenders, one of the best rim protectors. Nobody was really talking about it, and the reason why is because when he was with the Warriors, kind of the same thing was going on, but because he was with the Warriors, it was kind of expected because of that defensive team. So when he got to Brooklyn and he was running with, I think Claxton was on it. Yeah, he was running with Claxton. It became something that was almost customary where we expected him to do that.
KD Claxton lineup.
It was awesome. Yeah. It was awesome, but it was almost like we expected it, and we expected 25 a game, and we expected 27 a game. And I feel KD is one of those guys who is kind of like Joker, kind of like the new age guys, like Joker and Luka, where he's become the victim of his own success. Where Giannis too, where because he's been so awesome for so long that we neglect it and we take it for granted, not realizing that there's not a lot of guys who are doing this, and I don't think that we're going to see a lot of guys in the future doing this for as long as he's been doing it. So,
yeah, I think the Suns are well situated. I'll be honest with y'all. Before the season, I had the Suns at the 2nd seed. I thought they would just be healthier than what they've been, but
Ox had them in the finals. Ox thinks Phoenix is going to the finals before the season started.
Yeah, I had them in the finals too.
Well, yeah, I did, but the Clippers, the Clippers. I think I got the Clippers over the Suns. I think I do.
Going to the finals.
Yeah, I think I got the Clippers coming out the West. I've been on the fence about it. Swipe. I'm trying to stand on the tape, but it's really hard. Do you
think what's happening with the Clippers right now is emblematic of a larger issue, or do you feel like this is just kind of a skid for them? And I know they just won versus the Rockets, but I think they're 5 and they're 6 and 6.
Yeah, we're gonna get on that. We're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, they're 500 in the 12-game stretch, towards the later part of the season.
I could be wrong. I just want to.
Yeah, I'm not too. I don't think that's really too much of a concern, really.
Well, I think the thing for the Suns, the thing with the Suns for me that I would say, I think that the Clippers Suns would be my ideal first round matchup 4-5. I would love to see them go at it healthy, not that nonsense that happened last year. Right. When Kawhi for 2 games and he was the best player on the court. And then, the Suns were lighting them up, and then Devin Booker started off his that run that he had where he had that 9-game start to the playoff. Everybody was like, "This Michael Jordan reincarnated."
Shooting like 80% from the floor.
Right,
that was insane.
Like
I do want to see if they're fully healthy, man. That's going to be a really difficult solve for both those teams. And I think the thing that makes that the turn is Zubac versus Nurkic. Like Zubac is a good offensive rebounder. He's a good defensive option. I think he's a better rim protector than he gets credit for. But I think that series is going to be who can stay on the floor more between those two players. And I think coming down to Kawhi and KD. And I'm not concerned about Kawhi at all. I think he's going to be a top 5 player in the playoffs again if he's healthy. But that when Kawhi was guarded by Cat and couldn't get by him, it was just a little frustrating to me. And then when Brook Lopez was guarding him and he couldn't get by him, or Bobby Portis, he just doesn't have that initial step that he used to have. But when Kawhi powers his way to the nail and then he rises up over you, it's a problem. When Kawhi Leonard is shooting well, which he's been shooting well since December 1st, from that 3-point as a pull-up shooter, it's a problem. When Kawhi Leonard gets in transition, it's a problem. When Kawhi Leonard basically does anything, it's been a problem. But I just don't know if you put some of these more accelerated horizontal defenders on him, if he's able, especially the bigger bodies, if he's able to do that consistently versus a Jaden McDaniels. And by the way, shout out to Karl-Anthony Towns, man, out for indefinitely with a left meniscus tear, and it's the same injury that Joel Embiid had.
Oh,
you didn't know that, Big Eye?
Oh,
you're a monkey wrench. Yeah, you're a monkey wrench in our whole shit.
Towards meniscus?
Towards meniscus.
In March?
You're a monkey wrench.
In March?
Playoffs start in 6 weeks, Big Eye.
Come on, man.
Playoffs start in 6 weeks, though.
Yeah, so what does that look like for Karl-Anthony Towns?
This throws a monkey wrench in everything, bro.
It looks like he's gonna miss the playoffs. That's what it is.
So he's out for the playoffs. It's not an opportunity for him to come back.
I'd assume so, but
Western Conference Finals.
It's a cartilage between your two bones in your knee, and what it does, it keeps it stabilized and make sure the bones are hitting each other. I haven't had a torn meniscus. If you have a torn meniscus, it's either where there's a flap that's turned over and like you literally can't move your leg, or it's a partial tear and they have to repair the flap and put it down. Or what they can do is they can cut the part out that's been torn, and then it's like anywhere from 1 to 4 millimeters, so it's not too big. The thing I don't like about that though is and the same thing I said about Joel Embiid. If you're a big player and your meniscus, and you start wearing it down, it can affect you the rest of your life. Because Karl is a big dude, so is Embiid. So I would hope that he just gets the surgery and it just opts out to for his life. But they're gonna do whatever he feels is best, man. But their basketball portion, y'all, their offense is horrific when you put Naz Reid in on that starting lineup in replacement for Karl-Anthony Towns. It's like a 101 offensive rating on the year or something like that when the starting lineup, when you put Naz in there. So they are going to struggle without him for sure. I know people clown Cat because they just personality, some of the gimmicks and stuff like that or whatever. But I think he's a really good player. He deserves all the love he's been getting. But they're going to really struggle without him.
Think about it too. Go ahead, Chad. Go ahead.
If you think about two things to go back to, because I want to stay on this, but to go back to your point really quickly about the Phoenix Suns, I was apprehensive in the beginning of the season off the strength that the roster got flipped, and with the whole crew that they had, they came back with something almost completely different. I didn't give Nurkic enough credit for the rebounder that he actually is, particularly on the offensive glass, because I saw him in Portland. He seemed unengaged a lot of different times. I saw him on defense. He didn't really finish plays. So I didn't really give him a lot of credit. But now, him playing with KD, him playing with Devin Booker, him playing with Bradley Beal, the rebounder that he is, I definitely think that helps them out tremendously. Now, as far as Minnesota, if you think about the top teams in the West on the East. Swiper, you and I just had a conversation. We talked about what Giannis did, why they couldn't beat the Boston Celtics. If you take your second leading scorer, second leading distributor, or your second leading rebounder, you take that off the floor, that's throwing a monkey wrench in what we're doing. And Cat isn't just instrumental in them scoring. He's their second leading rebounder. He runs the floor. I think he's their best long ball shooter. So you take that off the floor, they got to switch their offense up. Now, luckily, they still got Ant. And I think that they're going to look for Rudy Gobert a little bit more, dive into the basket. I think Ant the biggest problem that we have with him is his inconsistency in the fourth quarter. I know that you don't like their offense because I think it's particularly because of the fourth quarter. If you look at their offense, though, they get a lot of action. They get a lot of good action, and they get things going because I've seen them in the fourth quarter build lead. I've seen them going into the fourth quarter building leads. They can't hold on to those leads for one particular reason, and that's because of the inconsistencies of both Cat and Anthony Edwards. That's one of the biggest reasons why they can't hold on to leads. Because
one of their biggest assets is their size. That's what made them so devastating. Is that you had Rudy, Jaden, and Cat in the front court.
That's 6'9", 6'10", 7 foot on the front line.
Yeah. So you put Nas Reed in there. Nas is like legitimately in real life like 6'7". Like he's just not a big dude, 6'8". So I think that's the biggest loss of rebounding and some of the size, just the switchability with that.
So with that being said, though, Swiper just did speak about the different types of meniscus tears, and there's different severities of meniscus tears. You know what I'm saying? Every injury is not created equal. So with that being said, like him being out indefinitely, let's hold on before we write him all the way off. He could make a reemergence. People have played through meniscus tears plenty of times. You know what I'm saying?
Ron Artest did it.
It's like not trying to lessen the severity of it, but it's not an ACL. Right. You know what I'm saying? If it comes down to it, he could play basketball. If that's the choice he makes, I'm not gonna speak bad about him if he decides to sit out. I think that's an intelligent move. You know what I'm saying? Take care of your body. I'm always for taking care of your body and thinking about your grandkids and your kids when you get up in age. You want to run around and play with them. This isn't the end all be all. As much as it is important, but we'll see what happens. I'm thinking on it though. They're still dangerous. It's a matchup thing. Now it's a matchup thing. And Nas Reed is a really good player. I like Nas Reed. So if he can step in and really show his worth, earn his keep right now, that'd be big. That'd be big. I'm not writing the Minnesota off just because they lost Cat. I'm not doing it.
Writing them off in what way, though, Ox?
I feel the same way about him that I felt about him. I think
there's no way you could do that losing an All-Star.
It is. I can because that team is good. They have other things.
But I'm saying, but like
you don't just because you so you can miss something in your squad, and like we talked about before, like something, bro. Let me like you can miss something in your squad. And it could be a big piece, but this basketball. It's different ways you can do it. Coach got a coach now. Right. Now he got to do this a different way. You know what I'm saying?
Write him off for what though? Like you saying?
I'm not writing them off for nothing. I feel the same way about.
You still think they compete for the Western Conference Championship?
15 minutes ago, I didn't know Cat tore his meniscus. I felt one way about Minnesota. Now I feel the same way I felt about him.
So you still think they could compete for the Western Conference Championship? Because they're gonna lose him for probably at least a month.
Well, Chitchat, I hope you feel the same way because the way you've hyped up Ant for the past 8 months, you got to feel me on this. You got to feel me. Like, there's no way you can't shut down the way you talk about Anthony Edwards.
Yes, the way I talk about
Rudy Gobert is still the defensive player of the year. Jaden McDaniels is still one of the best perimeter defenders we've seen in a while. Nas Reed can come off that can fill in. He's not going to shoot. He can shoot.
But he's not Karl-Anthony Towns.
He don't got to be Karl-Anthony Towns. See, that's the thing. That's the problem. This isn't a robotic sport. This is food. You got to be water. You got to be water. I'm making sense. Bruce Lee, you got to be water.
I see. You got
to be water. He wants water.
Water ain't nice. I'm trying to tell you, he's unfiltered water that hasn't gone through the chemical process of being refined for drinking yet. He is not yet water, bro. You can't use that water.
And not only that, Big Ox, what you asking me to do is you asking me to switch up my style, and I basically got to learn a routine, and the show is in a week.
If you're a championship level team, then this is what you have to do.
Right.
This is what you have to do.
I can't consider. The reason why we're a championship level team. The reason why we're a championship level team is because of what we have. When you exclude that, when you take one of those things out of our championship level team, we are now less than that. And what we're talking about in Cat, we're talking about a guy who is our second leading scorer, who scores in a multitude of ways, who gets on the glass. Now we got to replace that. We can't just replace that in a minimum, not only replace that. Now, how I talk about Anthony Edwards, how I talk about Rudy. Now these guys have to do even more than what they're already doing.
Exactly. But
now I'm not asking you.
That's why you.
What I'm not asking you to do, Big Ox. I'm not saying that you can't do more. What I'm saying is that more going to be enough to keep us where we are when we lose that out of our lineup?
If it's not Chilltown, then they were never a championship level.
No. Hold on, wait. We're talking about time.
Because look, you got Mike Conley on that squad.
Mike Conley, one of the last of the Mohicans. Mike Conley is one of the last of the Mohicans, one of the real PGs. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. He got it now. He got a ball. He got to take it back. He got to orchestrate the offense. He got to feed his team. He has to figure out a way for them to start getting more live passes to Rudy. Get downhill. Rudy got to be a real live threat. Bro, what do you mean? What does it mean? Are you not listening? Are you just trying to figure out a way? Are you just trying
to Rudy from Mike Conley?
Yes, live press from Rudy from Conley.
They're going to have one of the weakest point guard situations in the Western Conference.
Are you trying your hardest to not listen? Are you trying your hardest to not listen, or what? Or what's going on here? Like, what's going on here, Swiper? Are we gonna talk hoop? Are we gonna talk hoop? Are you gonna wait, Chitchat. Let's hear these numbers.
Wait a minute.
That's what we got to do. We can't talk ball. Let's hear these numbers.
Right. I'm just adding context. So Mike Conley, Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, Anthony Edwards, and Jaden McDaniels this year. They played 67 minutes. They got a 101 offensive rating and 82 defensive rating. One of the issues that they are going to have is the fact that what makes them so viable is the reason their defense is so good is when you switch with size and athleticism, which they have in the Cat, it just adds another layer. So what they're able to do versus some of these teams with the bigs that are elite, like AD or Jokic.
You keep talking about what they do with Cat. Let's talk about what they can do without Cat, because that's the point we're at right now. That's the point we're at right now. We're not at the point to keep talking about what was happening. Please wait. Please do. Let's stop talking about what was going on. You know what I'm saying? Last month when Cat was on the team, and now let's talk about ways that they can win without Cat, because it still is possible. You know what I'm saying? When you talk, basketball is not a sport where he's gone, so now we're just not gonna get those 25 points and 11 rebounds or whatever he's averaging. I don't know what he's averaging. You know what I'm saying? So
22 and 8. 22 and 8, big guy.
22 and 8. That's peak basketball, Chilltown. When I say, they got 22-8, now we're just missing 22 and 8. Like, that's just not how basketball works. Somebody else fills in. There's people on that bench that can play basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's like now we work something else out. We don't have our big man that's a pick and pop threat or whatever he does that's best. Now we play a different way. That's why these coaches get paid this money, because they have to figure out a way. They have to coach their team. They have to run different sets. They got the talent over there. If Anthony Edwards is as good as y'all say he is, they can still compete. If Rudy Gobert is the defensive player of the year, they can still compete. You know what I'm saying? Mike Conley, like I said previous, is one of the last of the Mohicans. He can still run an offense. Right. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to play basketball one way. That's why I be tired of every time I come up here. It's they do this, so they can't. No, but we can play basketball.
Well, here's the problem with the logic, and I can definitely appreciate you.
Hold on, real quick. If I can respond to so Ox, I respect your perspective, but I'm telling you that. The issue is that Naz Reid is a much smaller player and a worse player overall. And I think they're going to change up their defensive scheme because they have to. I think some of this is when you're playing versus the Wolves, they're already targeting Mike Conley. If you have an elite guard or you want to run a pick and roll set with AD or Braun or D'Lo or Braun or I don't know, whoever's the bottom, Luka and Lively or Luka and Daniil Gafford or whatever, or if you run a Jokic Murray, whatever the pick and roll combination is, Conley is constantly being attacked, because he's not a good enough defender at this point. He's the weakest defender in the roster because he's small. But if you do this with Naz Reid, the thing that they benefit most, especially versus some of these teams. Now, can they win in the first round? Sure, maybe. And again, Luka, LeBron, however you feel about some of those like matchup concoctions and all that stuff, or maybe the Warriors, I have no idea. The second round, you're going to start getting into these Sun series where you're going to need that side. You're going to get into these Clipper series. You're going to need that side. If they play versus Denver, the reason why they even were challenging Denver last year and they lost in 5 games is because they were putting Karl-Anthony Towns on Joker and they were roaming with Rudy. If you put Naz Reid on Joker and you roam with Rudy, it's not the same thing. And so that's the other part about this too. That changes up the defensive matchup for other teams, because if I don't have to guard Karl-Anthony Towns because he's such a threat from the 3-point line to the post touch, now that changes up the fact I know Naz is the shooter, but I'm not worried about him as a post player like that. So some of this is if you're mitigating their best asset, which is size and the interior defense, and you're then shrinking that, and you're getting rid of a 42% volume 3-point shooter who's a 22 points per game scorer. And now you're substituting, instead of getting him in the game, Naz Reid's in the game as a backup, now you're putting him in there as a starter. That changes up the backup rotation minutes. So now Kyle Anderson might have to play a little bit more in terms of that 4th spot over the course of the playoff run. Now Rudy Gobert is going to have more on him as a center, and then the backup center minutes aren't going to look as good as well. So everything about their team changes because Karl-Anthony Towns was that important to what they're doing. So I don't think that they're just smoke Like they're not just going to get cooked, but versus the elite teams, you're going to see a big difference versus the Clippers, versus the Nuggets, versus the Lakers because of their size, and versus some of these other teams. That's what I'm saying. I just think they're going to be a
but you're right. You're right about that, Swiper. I'm not saying that you're wrong. Like there's definitely going to be a disadvantage now. You can't lose your second. Some people might think he's the first. He's either the first, second, or third best player on that team. You're missing him now. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be harder, but it can still be done. They got the talent.
They don't though, Ox, because what you sounding like right now is you just sound like a next man up. There's a reason why this guy is the man up, and the next man behind him isn't what he is. That's why we rolling the way we rolling. If the dude behind him was playing, we'd be playing different. We're playing the way we playing right now this entire season because we have him. They run stuff for Cat. Cat isn't just a volume 3-point shooter where he shoots threes at the end of the shot clock or he's shooting threes in transition. No, that's a part of their offense. Not only is it a part of their offense, they go to him on the box. They won't be able to go to Naz Reid like that on the box like they do Cat. They won't be able to run offense like they'll probably run offense for Naz Reid, but they won't be able to run it like that.
Okay, so then what's another option? If they're not running, so let's say it's the middle of the third, and usually Coach what's his name, Finch. That's Finch over there. Yeah, Coach Finch is over there, and he's like, typically right now, I'll be riding Cat right now. I'll be getting dumped downs to Cat at this point. But now, Chilltown, you're coaching, right? So usually I would do that. But now what am I going to do? Do you think he's gonna be like, well, you know what? We usually do it with Cat. Let's do it with Nas. Or do you think he's gonna start running another set, something for Ant now? Like he's gonna do something else.
He's going to have to do something else now because Cat is out the lineup indefinitely. But now we got to change up our play style. And what our play style is now going to be predicated on, more than anything, we got to rely more on our defense to create offense. Because with our offense, with this dude now being out of the lineup, now Jaden McDaniels has to be even better defensively.
They can do that, though. So I've heard you guys keep saying, I've heard you guys keep saying, Naz Reid.
Right.
You guys
as a rotation player, Ron, his role is changing.
Hold on right quick, though. Do you not know who they have in their starting lineup that can still play the 3 and 4? I think we need to talk more about Jaden McDaniels.
Yes, we do.
I think Jaden McDaniels needs to be spoken about more because look, Swiper, they gain more on defense with Jaden McDaniels. So now Jaden McDaniels can slide to the 4. He can easily play the 4. Easily.
What is he, 6'9"? What is
6'9", 6'10". He's a better defender than Cat, hands down. So you slide him over to the 4, you move Kyle Anderson into the starting lineup, or you move somebody else. Hold on, chill though, Swiper. Because here's the thing: like obviously he's not as good of an offensive player as Cat, but Jaden McDaniels is slept on in terms of his abilities. Now I think if
which abilities, Ron? When you say his abilities,
his abilities to knock down a shot, his abilities to create on offense, his abilities to he's a very skilled player on the offensive end. He just hasn't had the freedom to do so because Karl-Anthony Towns.
Right. Cat. So now we got to go to him more.
Rudy Gobert.
So now we're going to have to go to him more.
Yeah, and I think he can handle those responsibilities. I'm not saying he's going to average 22, but what I am saying is they got Jaden McDaniels. They got what's his name coming off the bench? Kyle Anderson coming off the bench. He's a positive on offense. He has the ability to create. He can do certain things that unlock their offense. Like, no, he can't. He's not going to shoot 40% from 3. But Kyle Anderson is essentially another point guard out there on the floor. Like they have different things that they can do. They just picked up Monty Morris as well. Monty Morris is somebody that can provide just offense for him and
solid backup. Sure,
solid backup. So, bro, I think they still got a good enough roster. Like, and I said this earlier in the season. Mm-hmm. I said they can afford to lose Cat. I was saying they can trade Cat. Now, obviously, when you trade somebody, you get something in value. But if anybody was going to get injured on that team, and they can move forward out of their big 3, Cat was the one that can go. And
move forward to do what, Ron?
What you mean?
What do you mean? You say I understand trading him. I do. I understand trading him. I'm saying losing him at the end of the season, but do what with him? Like what is their ceiling?
I'm not saying they're better without Cat. I'm not by no stretch of the imagination. But I'm saying that without Cat, Jaden McDaniels is still there, and he's still a defensive juggernaut. Rudy Gobert's still there. He's still a defensive juggernaut. Right. Y'all talk about Ant on the defensive end. Right. Y'all say that he's one of the best up-and-coming dynamic guards on the defensive end. So they still got the defense.
He's going to be the worst player in every series he's in for the most part. The worst best player.
I'm saying that's what most other people be saying. I don't put.
I mean, he's not going to be better than Luka. Not going to be better than LeBron or AD for that matter. He's not going to be better than.
Buddy, shut up, man. Pay attention to what we doing over here, man. Shut up, yo. You ain't putting nobody in check, man. Shut up. and just listen. Be the hell quiet. Damn. Yo, disrespectful ass clown. Shut up, man.
What did he say?
Damn, I'm sorry. Talking about shut up, Swiper. Talking about that's the way you ask questions. Shut up and pay attention, goofy. Go ahead, Swiper. I'm sorry. Damn. I'm sorry, man. That shit burns me. Like we're having an actual conversation. Yo, watch who you talking to. Watch who you talking to. What you talking about?
Yo, buddy, chill out, man.
Shut up, man.
Before you got to get put in jail.
For real,
buddy. Hey, buddy, chill out before you got to get put in jail.
We trying to have a conversation over here. You still talking, nigga? Shut up. Keep
Mars.
I'm sorry, Swiper.
Mars, I want to hear how you feel about
Swiper ain't even get to finish. Swiper ain't even get to
Mars,
finish.
we haven't heard from you all show. I want to hear how you feel about the Wolves and Karl-Anthony Towns being out.
Can I speak after Swiper finishes his point?
Go ahead, Swiper.
Yeah, I'm cool, but nah, chill. This is funny, man. I'm on multiple platforms, so I feel like there's always haters in the chat, man. That's funny. That's the role. But look, I think their defense isn't the issue. It's going to be their scoring. Their scoring already sucks when it comes to the fourth quarter and clutch. It already sucks. They're losing their second best scorer. That's a big deal. Like I just think that's a huge deal. Like it's just like you're just putting so much emphasis on these other players. And they lost Jaden McDaniels and they lost Nas Reed before the playoffs started last year. Losing Cat's worse than losing both of those players last year. And you saw how difficult it was for them.
That's
so their defense is going to be fine because they have a bunch of defenders on the court. But look, this isn't 04. You know, they don't have a Pistons level defense. And on top of that, you need to score in this era. And who's going to score for you? You're going to come down to Anthony Edwards. And I'm telling you, Anthony Edwards is just not at that level yet where he's going to be able to take down these monsters in the Western Conference, even Steph Curry and them if they get into the playoffs. That's just going to be a difficult matchup. So, you know, we'll see. I'm not saying they won't beat the Warriors. The Warriors have multiple flaws outside of that. But there's just some other teams, I think, if they get to the second round, man, it's just going to be a bloodbath. But we'll see.
And Ox, I really feel like the way I talk about Anthony Edwards, I do feel like that he's going to be that someday. I don't feel like he's there yet. I feel like he's on his way to being that. I don't think he's there yet. I think he's on his way to being that. Same thing with Jaden McDaniels. I feel like all of these dudes, as young as Anthony Edwards is, I feel like, and Jaden McDaniels, as young as these guys are, I feel like these dudes is on their way to doing something special. I don't feel like they're there yet, though. And I think that's where the problem is. And when you lose somebody, a vet like Cat, that means something. That means something significant. I'm sorry, Mars, you were saying.
I think anytime you lose a all-star caliber player, your team's going to take a hit. And I think for the Timberwolves, I think you can make the argument Cat is their best offensive player. Whether or not you think he is or not is, I'm not here to debate that, but I think you can make the argument he's their best or most valuable offensive player. So losing that on a team that's already struggling offensively would be the equivalent of like the Orlando Magic losing Paolo Banchero. And I don't think we'd think that they're going to be solid without him, even if you think there's other guys who can come in and take on an enhanced role, or you think Jamal Mosley can make adjustments. There's just something about losing that level of value that is hard to replace. I think if I had to assume, I think they'd go all in on defense instead of trying to supplement his lack of offense, because their offense already isn't great. So considering they know their offense will be worse, I think they'd probably just take that hit and then just try and maximize their defense. So if I had to guess, it would probably be something about maybe, obviously you probably start with Nas Reed because he's your best player off the bench, but something along the lines of Mike Conley and Nikhil, Jaden McDaniels, and then Rudy, probably, if I had to guess. And then just go extremely switchable 1 through 4. And then have Rudy.
You said put Nas in the starting lineup?
Nas in the starting lineup, but I think they'd probably close with more defense with Nikhil, if I had to guess. And then they just try and, or maybe they would take Mike Conley out, but I don't think they trust Ant's playmaking. But
so you think, Mike Conley,
that's probably the options.
Yeah, Nikhil,
Mike Conley and Nikhil, Jaden McDaniels, and Rudy Gobert. And
I like that.
Keep Rudy on the back line with pre-switching, and then you have Nikhil, Ant, and Jaden who can really switch anything. And then Mike Conley is he's a good team defender. He's very aware. Now, one-on-one, you're probably going to have to provide help, but I mean, the length you have just in terms of plugging gaps and nail defense is still very good. So I think that's probably what they do. And if their offense can maybe not tread water, but as long as it's not Memphis Grizzlies bad in the half court, I think they should be able to make it to the playoffs as still a top 3 seed. I don't know how many games ahead they are right now, but
they're tied atop the conference right now. It's
it's
the
only
Wolves
one game ahead of
OKC. They're one game ahead of Denver.
They're one game ahead of Denver.
If they can stay in the top three, I think they'll be all right. The playoffs is like what 5-6 weeks away.
Today is the 7th?
The current standings, y'all, are the Timberwolves at 43-19, Thunder 43-19, Nuggets at 42-20, Clippers 40-21, and then a huge gap. So the Clippers are 2.5 games back. Do you think they'll be able to hold off the last 20 games of the year with a 2.5 game lead? Because they got to play Denver 3 times, by the way, over the next 20 games.
Let's look at the schedule. Indy, Cleveland, Lakers, Clippers, Jazz, Nuggets, Cleveland, Warriors, Pistons, Nuggets, Bulls, Rockets, Raptors, Suns.
Now, wait a minute, Mars. Before you go any further in that schedule, don't leave out.
They might be the 4 seed. I
was about to say, Mars, don't leave out them 6 games that you just mentioned. That's 6 games in 13 nights on the road. That's not like them 6 games is at home that you just mentioned. Them 6 games is in 13 nights. That's on the road that they got to do that.
Okay,
so,
I assume they'll stay in the top 4. And if they're right now, the 5th seed is the Pelicans. And assuming a meniscus is probably assuming it's a partial tear, maybe 6 weeks, 6-7 weeks, and then he's back ramping up.
I just don't
which
know
means that most optimistically, he'd come back at the end of the first round, in my opinion. Optimistically, I assume he wouldn't play in the first round. So then it would be, can the Timberwolves beat a team like the Pelicans or the Suns or the Kings without Cat? I don't think so. So I think they'd probably lose in round 1 unless Cat comes back quicker than expected.
Are they beating the Kings without Cat, Big Ox?
They could beat them other squads, but not us.
So yeah, I think without Cat, their ceiling is losing in the first round, which I don't think that was their ceiling with Cat. So yeah, I think they're gonna miss him because I think they're gonna lose in the first round now, and I don't want to have it turn into like, oh, Anthony Edwards isn't that good because he couldn't win without Cat. I don't want that to happen. It's probably gonna happen, but I don't want that to happen. But I just think the Timberwolves just a bit too flawed to lose an All-Star and still succeed in the playoffs.
They're not good enough to lose that level of All-Star. I mean, there's All-Stars that you could lose, and then we can supplement for a little while. But to lose him for the season, or especially at this time of the season, the playoffs is in 5 weeks.
Yeah,
playoffs are in 5 weeks.
That's just how most teams are built. Unless you have like a superstar all-time player, you're typically built around an elite roster if you're that good. And that's what the Wolves are. They have an elite roster, and their 1 through 8 is a very good. And so 1 through 9 if you include Montana now. So this just puts a lot of emphasis on the other dude. Now again, we'll see. We'll find out. But some people already had them losing to the Lakers in the first round anyway if they were to play. So I think those people have more. I mean,
Ron, did you have that?
Yeah, so I know I just said all of this. Like, I think they'll still be good without Cat, but right. I didn't have the Wolves anyways. I didn't have the Wolves making it past the second round. If in certain situations, not even getting to the second round. So I mean, that's kind of how Ox said. It doesn't change my perspective on the Wolves. I didn't think that they were bound for a deep playoff run either way it goes. One thing though that I am curious to see about this whole thing is obviously, if Cat's gone, what levels can Ant take his game to? Now, I'm not expecting him to go on a deep Western Conference run, but I do want to see over a course of a series, is Ant able to average 33? Is Ant able to take over during certain stretches of the game? Is Ant able to look like a top 10 player in the NBA? What now does Ant dig deep into himself and pull out? What version of him can
30 in the playoffs?
31 last year, 31 last year.
Yeah, the Nuggets player said that he was maybe one of the 2 or 3 best players they played in the playoffs. 31
last year in the playoffs. Now, could that go up to 35, or I don't know if
he shoots enough. Yeah, I mean, if he takes enough shots,
it'll definitely be inflated, no doubt about that. But with that being said, I mean, what's the kind of what quality of shots are we talking about? Because in the playoffs, now when we scheme specifically for you. And now when you're taking Cat off the floor, those are less shots for the rest of those guys, more shots for Ant, and we're going to scheme more for Ant's deficiencies, like the fact that he doesn't play that well in pick and roll. Not only does he not play that well in pick and roll, he's not good off not just pick and roll, but he's not good off dribble handoffs, neither 22, 23 feet away from the basket. He's not as good as he is when Cat's on the floor. So stuff like that matters when you're in a playoff series. So to think that Cat it's not a significant loss. I don't think you guys don't think that. I don't think you guys think that. But to think that he's not a significant loss and the fact that that could be replaced by just a high level of defense, I think that's asking them. I think that's asking way.
They're still better. They're still better than the Thunder.
Without Cat, you think they better than OKC? What are you basing that on? What are you basing that on?
He doesn't think the Thunder are good.
Talent level.
What do you mean talent level? What are you talking about? What do you mean talent level?
But what does talent level mean, bro? What do you mean? What
the level of talent.
You asked me what type of question you asked?
I'm looking at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, looking at Chet Holmgren, looking at J-Dub, who's averaging, one of the most efficient 20-point per game scorers in the league, basically. I'm looking around Casey Wall coming off the bench. At worst, Kendrick Williams is in the rotation. I mean, what do you mean talent? Lou Dort's on the roster. I don't like Josh Giddey like that. Josh Giddey's one of the best. I still feel like they got more talent, just all around. Like sure. Chet, I'd rather have Rudy. I'd rather have Rudy than Chet. I'm taking Rudy over Chet. Sure, that's fine. But
yes,
they got SGA. They have the
MVP awards. Okay, they got
MVP. Anthony Edwards ain't SGA.
Wait, Rudy's more talented than Chet?
I think he's better. Yeah.
You said talent.
Yeah, that's better.
That's
okay. Huh.
That's not what talent is. Respect, whatever.
Not Rudy better than Chet. Okay, interesting.
Rudy not better than Chet? Come on, y'all stop.
How would he be better than Chet?
Because he's better at basketball than Chet. I don't want.
What you want me
to say,
I want you to say how he's better at basketball.
Well, just because he's better. He's better. He's a much better defender than Chet.
Much.
And y'all.
Yes.
Go ahead, bro. What?
I mean, yeah.
No. Okay. Yeah. Much better defender. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Keep going, Ox.
Okay. On top of that, see y'all. We've had this conversation a bunch of times about Rudy's offense. He doesn't have a bunch of stuff in his offense, but he's a threat still. You know what I'm saying when he's diving to the rim, when he's a threat, he's a lob threat. He's an offensive. What'd you say?
He's a great rim roller. He is one of the best rim rollers in the league.
Yes, that's a great pick and dive. Great pick.
Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that?
Pick and dive guy.
Why are you saying that sarcastically?
Because he doesn't do anything else. He's an elite vertical spacer without much anything else.
Well, and the reason why is because they use him that way. I'm pretty sure, Swiper, you saw him in the Olympics and how that French. Yes, you saw how that French team used him in the Olympics. He could actually do other things. They just don't use him that way.
He's fine in the Olympics setting.
It's because he doesn't.
Are you implying that if you gave Rudy more offensive responsibility, he'd look good?
I think so. I do think so, Mars. Yes, I absolutely. And the reason why I say that is because of what I saw, how that French team used him in the Olympics. He was a pick and pop guy. I'm thinking, I didn't know Rudy could do that. That was news to me. I didn't know he could do that. I didn't know he could handle it like that. I didn't know he could do that. So I didn't know he could do that stuff. But he's not used like that.
Between his legs at the 3-point line and do all this shit, then y'all be like, oh yeah.
Are there any Hezzy Tween fans up here?
Anyways, like I'm saying, I like Rudy for what he does. Y'all like Chet for what he does. Okay, we can.
No, Rudy.
I like Jaden McDaniels. What I'm saying is like as a whole, yeah, they got SGA, but the Wolves all around to me still got a better team, and I like Kyle Anderson.
Mars, I've been one of those people who was saying that Rudy should have more responsibility offensively.
Yeah, but I thought I just meant throw him more lobs. I didn't know give him touches.
And Mars, the reason why I say that is because what I saw. The reason why I say that because what I saw in the Olympics, and I'm watching this dude, how they use him in pick and pop, how they use him in pick and dive, how they use him in transition, and I'm thinking to myself, I know the Olympics is different than that basketball is different than NBA basketball. But I'm thinking to myself, why aren't you using him more than the way you're using him now? Okay, Rudy doesn't have the best hands, but he does catch. He can catch lobs, right? Not only can he catch lobs, he can catch on dribble. He can catch on like dribble handoffs and pick and pop. He can do that. So why aren't you using him more than you use him now? Why aren't you? Why is he primarily why is he Dikembe Mutombo? I'm thinking to myself, I'd like to think he's a better offensive player than Mutombo.
Well, he's a good finisher, Chill. No. Ignore.
Why are you fighting that?
Rudy's better on offense than Dikembe?
Yes.
Okay, chill. Listen, I hear you on the pick and roll.
If Rudy was
straighten me out, please.
In the league,
straighten me out, so I'm clear. Straighten me out. What
maybe it's, I don't watch international play like that for real. I didn't watch I didn't watch the Olympics. I don't know what Rudy was doing. So
and the reason
maybe why he was doing all this stuff, but in the NBA, I don't see it. So
the reason why I watch the Olympics is because I like to see what these guys look like when they're away from the game. That's why I watch the Olympics in particular. I like to see what Rudy Fernandez looked like when he was actually with his home country, how they use him. I want to see what both Mark and Powell look like when they're not on the floor in the NBA, when they're used in Spain. Like I want to see what your game actually looks like. And with watching Rudy in the Olympics, they used him completely differently than they do in the NBA. And I'm thinking, why isn't he used more like this in the NBA? I'm sure he can knock down mid-post shots, right? I'm not just mid-post shots.
They're less talented playing overseas in that setting as opposed to playing next to players that are better isolation players like Ants or Cats.
Right.
And again, he is a good roller. But even this year, if you look at his numbers, like he's not like matter of fact, if you just hit his isolation numbers, he doesn't even qualify for anything. Number one.
Right, he doesn't.
You just want to look at some isolation numbers, but you love stats. I got some stats for your ass, Swiping.
But he doesn't.
What are stats? Because he loves stats.
I'm not even done.
You want to get into the stats. You go ahead. Let's I got some stats for your ass. Yo, Rudy is averaging 14 and 13 on 65%. But what's wrong? But I'm saying though, what is Chet? Chet's averaging 17. So Rudy's averaging what 14 points. So he's averaging 3 more points than Rudy.
That's a bucket.
3 more
That's
points.
One bucket.
3 more points than Rudy. What?
I see why Ox doesn't go to stats. Okay, I see.
I mean, what I'm saying is 60. He's on 65%, so it's efficient. It's not like you got to drop the ball down to Rudy. He's still gonna produce a couple, some buckets. He's still gonna produce, whether it's offensive rebounds. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a lob threat, so he doesn't need the ball a whole lot to still get to it. He's still gonna produce some buckets. He's not gonna average 20, but 14 points, and you don't got to dump the ball down to me. I'm 65% around the basket, and so how can you tell me that Chet is just clear as Rudy when it's not like Chet's averaging 28, 20 something. He's averaging 17. And I guarantee,
this isn't you. Yeah, this isn't you. This is way out of your comfort zone. Okay,
I'm very comfortable. This is my comfort zone. We're talking basketball. Don't you.
The box score is clearly not your comfort zone.
You can't look,
equating Rudy's 14 to Chet 17 is just that's bad.
Why? Because how? You can't,
because you understand the game of basketball in the context in which points
about basketball and act like I'm uncomfortable speaking anything about basketball. I'm not gonna do that shit with you.
That's the problem. I'm not gonna do this shit with you. That's why you're uncomfortable.
So we gonna straighten that shit out right now. We're gonna straighten that shit out right now.
You're talking basketball right now.
You're not gonna teach me nothing about basketball.
You tried to go in a lane that you're not comfortable with. You tried to go the stats lane.
But I'm not. I don't know who you're trying to talk to. I don't know who you've gone horribly wrong. You're not gonna do none of that shit with me.
You're good when you're talking basketball. None of that. You're good when you're talking basketball.
I'm talking basketball right now.
No, you're talking the box score.
Thank you very much. I know that. You're not gonna tell me shit about this basketball. We're not gonna do that. You're in the wrong destination. We're not gonna do that. Thank you very much.
What I'm at? Wait.
I'm not gonna play with you.
That's what I'm
saying. You tried to go your swiper route. You tried to go the route of stats. I'm not going to know what you're doing on that route.
I'm simply pointing out the fact that he doesn't need the ball in his hands a whole lot. He can get offensive rebounds. He can be a lob threat, and he can still get you 14 points a game. What did he do last year? 17. Y'all was like, oh, he doesn't give you anything on the offensive end. Why? Because he doesn't do it the way that you think is the proper way?
Post run.
What'd you say?
Yeah.
Man, I follow up with the comment.
Box score is not for him.
It's not about the box score, Mars. That's not.
What one brought 14 and 13 on 65%? If that's not box score, what is it?
Well, no, that's just simply pointing out efficiency. That's simply pointing out efficiency. He doesn't need the ball in his hands as much as Chet, and he's still gonna give you 14 points a game. That's simply hoop talk.
This is what he's producing.
He's being productive.
Now I know you want to put context on it, Mars, like how he's getting.
No, it's fine. It's fine. There's a reason Ox doesn't point to the box score ever until now.
Why?
Because
you
understand there's context.
Why?
Because you understand there's context to how to accumulate. You understand.
Okay, so what's
when
wrong
you
with
the basketball, you understand that. But when you go to the box score and you see 40 or 65%, you ignore the fact that on average his shots come from 3 feet away from the rim. You ignore the fact that
that's my point, Morris. That is my point. I'm not ignoring it. It's already. I'm not ignoring it. It's already set.
95% of his shots are created for him. So to act like we're just saying, oh well, the only difference is 3 points. So how is Chet clearing him offensively?
Because that's my point, Morris. That's my point. I'm not saying, Morris. I'm not saying that he's as talented on the offensive end.
That's how Chet.
Yo, I gotta mute both of you guys because y'all gotta just stop yelling over each other. Let somebody finish their point.
Go ahead, Morris. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Because the context is when you ask how is Rudy's 14 being cleared by Chet 17, that is lazy coming from you in particular, because you understand that the reason Chet clears him offensively is because Chet doesn't have to have all his offense created for him, because Chet offers you more versatility offensively in terms of he can pop to the 3-point line, he can initiate pick and rolls, he can set screens and roll to the rim, he can play off the ball, he can come off cold screens, he can pass the ball, he can run offense himself, he can run dribble handoff with Shea, and he's a threat to score the ball. Rudy is only a threat within the restricted area of lobs, of putbacks, and of pick and rolls. That's it. That's why we can understand that even though there's only a 3-point gap, we can see that Chet clears him exponentially offensively because the utility he provides offensively is far superior to that of Rudy Gobert. So for you, of all people, to say, "Oh, he's averaging 14 on 65%,"
Mars, that's
so how does Chet clear him?
You just broke down. You just broke down my
That's
point.
lazy.
That's not lazy. What you're doing. What you're doing is think. Okay, well, listen. Now listen to what I'm saying. What you're trying to do is act like I'm saying something I'm not. That's exactly my point, bro. Mars. Chet, you just said everything that Chet can do on offense. Yes, Chet is a better offensive player than Rudy Gobert. That's not my argument. My argument is clears. That's fine. My argument is the production
scorer.
My argument is what it takes to get those buckets. They don't need Rudy Gobert doing all that. That's not what he does. It's fine that somebody else is producing these points for Rudy. It takes less. It's less work, which means you get 14 points. You get 14 points with the ball barely in his hands, as opposed to 17 points with the ball in Chet's hands more often, doing things that Rudy's not supposed to do. That's why I brought up Mike Conley earlier. When as soon as I brought up Mike Conley, Swiper got to grabbing his mic. Mike Conley, yeah, but because Mike Conley can do that for Rudy Gobert, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's good basketball. Rudy Gobert is getting his buckets in the flow of the offense, off of lobs, off of dump downs, off of offensive rebounds, barely having the ball in his hands and still being able to be the defensive player of the year on that end of the court. Whereas Chet, he can do this, so let's give him the ball, let's let him ISO, let's let him work. How much more time does Chet have the ball as opposed to Rudy Gobert having the ball, and he's only getting 3 more points? That's my point, Mars. Thank you for pointing that out for me.
So, because you said the reason this started is because you said, how does Chet clear Rudy? That's what you said, and you brought up those nonsensical box score numbers. That's why I got involved. If you would have just said, well, Rudy doesn't get asked to do this much offensively and he still gets 14, none of this would happen. You said, how does Chet clear him?
I'm just thinking how I can understand it, because I can simply understand that just because you can watch basketball.
Rudy Gobert gets 24 touches per game in the front court. Chet gets 29. So it's a 5-touch difference, and producing on offense is more than just points per game.
And when you say touches, what does that mean, Mars? What do you mean by touches?
Touching the ball.
Touching the ball. Okay, so you can't. So okay, so in what?
And Rudy Gobert's time of possession is 1.1, and Chet's is 1.9. Chet does not dominate the ball to get what he's doing on offense.
I didn't say he dominates the ball. I'm saying
he doesn't even hold the ball to do what he does on offense, because he can do other things offensively. You asked how he cleared him. I explained how he cleared him, but now you want to say Rudy can just provide value in this way that other people can.
That's what I'm saying.
4-point difference.
It's simple,
but we also understand offensive production is more than how many points you are scoring. It's about the ways you are helping your team score the basketball, and Chet Holmgren does that exponentially better than Rudy Gobert does.
I think Rudy Gobert is a better player than Chet Holmgren.
Already providing more value than Rudy Gobert. See, now you're moving the goalpost. I'm not moving the goalpost. I'm not moving the goalpost. I simply said
more.
I'm trying to explain how Chet is still producing way more, because producing on offense is more than points per game. And
I think Rudy produces enough to still be better than Chet. It's simple.
Okay,
that's not what
Chet Holmgren.
That's what I said. That's what I said.
That's not what you said originally.
You so busy trying to make sure that I'm wrong. You're not hearing shit. You just.
I'm not trying to make sure you're wrong.
Oh, listen, but we talking hoop, bro.
Let's talk hoops. Okay, so let's talk hoops.
It's really fun, bro. We're talking ball.
Okay, so let's talk hoops, right? So let's talk hoops.
I love when we can talk basketball.
So right, and that's what we're doing right now. We talking hoops. We're not doing none of that extracurricular nonsense. We talking hoops, and with us talking hoops, Mars, you just brought up he touches the basketball the same amount of times that Chet touches the basketball. Now remember, okay, maybe slightly less. Now remember, a lot of times when Rudy touches the basketball, he's touching the basketball when they running something for somebody else. They run stuff for Chet. That's why he's touching the basketball. Sometimes he'll touch the ball because they're running stuff for other people. They don't run anything for Rudy. They don't get Rudy the ball. They don't get Rudy the ball
because
on the
Chet
block.
clears him offensively.
That's not it's not just because of that, Mars. It's not.
Yes, it is. And exactly the reason.
No, but hold on. But
You don't run stuff for someone who's bad offensively. No one runs plays for Isaac Okoro.
No, they don't.
Runs plays for you know why? Because they're not good offensively. You don't run stuff for Rudy Gobert.
Really good at the long ball.
They still don't run plays for him. They still don't.
I actually did offensively. I actually saw them run a couple of things.
I think
you don't run plays for bad offensive players, and Chet clears Rudy offensively. The whole reason I got into this conversation is because someone asked, "How does Chet clear Rudy?" If no one said that asinine comment, I never would have got involved. If you want to say Rudy is still a better player because defensively he's the best player in the league and offensively he's not a liability, sure. But if you want to go and ask how does Chet clear Rudy offensively, and then when someone explains it to you, you want to act like that's not what you said, I'm going to call that out because that is exactly what you said, and that's the only reason I started talking. If no one asked that question, I wouldn't have said anything.
And it's fine, Mars, because I had nothing to say. That you got involved in that.
You can't say that and then be like, "Well, I never said that," when you did say that.
Right, but the point is that the reason why I brought this.
You asked how does Rudy clear? I
still don't think Chet clears Rudy.
The reason why we brought this up, the reason why we brought this up is because I feel like they don't. I'm the one who started this, Swiper, because I said I feel like they don't use Rudy as much as they could use him because I think he's better offensively than he's shown. That's what I brought that up.
Right. And then Ox respectfully brought up a point about points per game and field goal percentage. And again, I was then going to respond, but Mars still eloquently responded instead. My whole thing with bringing that up, Rudy, and I'm telling you, chill, this is it. It's not about opportunity. Rudy doesn't have the skill set that Chet does. He can't pick and pop. As a real three-point shooter. He's not a mid-range shooter. And the thing is Chet has some dribble creation ability. He can create for himself at times versus some big, not consistently, but he can do it enough. The issue is that Rudy Gobert does not have the bag, whatever. He doesn't have the bag to be able to create space for himself. I think sometimes people, let me explain this, a bag doesn't mean just a heavy tween pull-up package. What it means is you have the capability as a post scorer to have multiple counters to get to a spot to get the ball into the basket. Rudy Gobert doesn't have that. Rudy Gobert is a decent hook shot player. He doesn't make him efficiently enough for you to throw in the ball for him to do that consistently. The reason why Rudy hasn't gotten touches with the Utah Jazz consistently, especially in playoff settings, or the Minnesota Timberwolves in playoff settings, he doesn't have the skill set to execute. Matter of fact, just to be clarified, that man right there, Ox, is a huge Domantas Sabonis fan, and Domantas Sabonis has liabilities in the playoffs as an offensive threat because he lacks post.
Not only in the playoffs, regular season too. Why we always leave out regular season? If you can't do it in the playoffs, you can't do the regular season.
Sure, but Rudy's even worse than that, and Chet is also better than that man. So the issue is that Rudy Gobert will not see those touches, and I think bringing up points per game, what it does take into account is the context in which the fact that he doesn't have the skill set to be better than that.
We've already established that. We've said that. We've been over that. I never said he could do any of the shit that Chet can do. I said that's why I brought up Mike Conley earlier. And once again, you're not even trying to hear what I'm saying. You just so quick to try to rebuttal everything. That's why I said about Mike Conley earlier. I said he can help in Rudy's a lob threat. You lost your mind about that. That's what I'm saying. Rudy,
we're talking about replacing Cat in that scenario though when we were talking about that though.
But check me out though. What I'm saying is you're not gonna just keep dumping the ball down to Rudy. No, but Rudy, you can dribble, you can dribble and dish right there to Rudy. He finishes that. He's a lob threat. He's an offensive rebound threat. To me, that makes you a threat on offense. Not you don't have to create it yourself, but when you have guards that can dump it down to you, you then become a threat. I don't care about all that other stuff, what you're talking about with Chet's ISO ability and stuff like that. Yeah, he has that on Rudy. We all know that. We don't have to debate that. What I'm saying is you can still be a threat and not create your own offense. That's all.
Well,
that's really it. And be super efficient. Like 65%, that's super efficient. You know what I'm saying? That means why? Because I'm close to the rim. Mars said you're not adding context. Obviously, Rudy's getting the ball 3 feet by the rim. I know that. I like that. That's not a problem. Just because you shot it from 17, just because you shot it from 17,
it's surprising.
I shot it from 3.
Considering
if you
shots are coming from 3,
65%, whatever. 60. If you shoot it 16 feet, if you shoot it 16 feet away from the rim, and I shoot it 3 feet away from the rim, and it still goes in, it's still points. It's still 2 points.
But the problem is
there is no problem with it.
Swipe, we gotta move on. We can't continue. We can't dive any deeper into a Rudy and Chet offensive debate. We can't. We gotta move on.
It needs to be ended, but that you can't depend on that.
It's like how does Chet play DeAndre Jordan on offense? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, all right, y'all.
I mean, cool. We can put it that way too. We could talk about that too. I'm fine with that.
This is a good time for me to encourage everybody to like the video. If you haven't liked the video, also shout out to everybody that's been in here from the beginning. Shout out Just Bam in the chat. Shout out all the regulars in the chat. Salute to you guys. Appreciate y'all for being a part of the fam. Also, you see it's $1.99 to type in the chat. Go ahead and get your membership today. And if you do get the $4.99 membership, you get access to all of our illustrious playback content. You can go back and rewatch all the playback videos and all that other good stuff. It's more perks to the $4.99 membership as well. But shout out to all of our members. Shout out to all of our subscribers. Playback. If you haven't checked us out on Playback, go to playback.tv. Go to the Players' Choice room. Join our room tonight. Speaking of the Boston Celtics and the Denver Nuggets. One of our very own, Chilltown the Great, is going to be up there watching that game tonight. Chill, are you excited about that?
I am. I'm definitely excited about the Boston-Denver game tonight. Yes, I am. Let's do it.
You got predictions for that game?
Yeah, I think Boston's going to beat them. Yeah, I do. I think Boston is going to beat them. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and it's in Denver?
Yes, in Denver. They're on a West Coast road trip. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
West Coast road trip. Mm-hmm.
All right, well, y'all already know the drill. Tap in with Chill later tonight. Tap into playback.tv and go ahead and watch that game. I'll be there. Enjoying it. So
you know what? We would be watching more though. People would be watching us more if we had gear like Mars. That hoodie, if you had on it, that hoodie was a Player's Choice hoodie. That hoodie would be so dope.
Now you're cooking.
I'm just saying, Mars. I think that hoodie would be so dope if it was a Player's Choice hoodie. Like this shirt I got on. This would just be this shirt would be so dope if it was a Player's Choice shirt. I just think that it would be so dope, Big Ox, if you had on a Player's Choice shirt. I just think that it would just be so dope. If that hat like I had on, it would just be so dope.
I don't need no Player's Choice shirt.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. Just putting it out.
Well, if you would like to see yourself in a dope-ass Player's Choice shirt, you see down there, right at the bottom right down there, it says playerschoicemerch.com. You go ahead and do yourself a favor and get you some Player's Choice merch. Go check it out. All right, y'all, we got super chats. We got a lot of super chats, so let's go ahead and do it. Alan L with the first super chat of the day. He said, "Yeah, Ron, Bucks can't F with us, little bro." L Dub.
Facts. L Dub. Oh my god, L Dub.
Cultured Saunders said, "You see the cat news?" Yes, we obviously talked about it. In case you don't know, we have talked about it, but in case you don't know, Cat does have a torn meniscus and he's out indefinitely. So I'm assuming we'll get more news on that here very soon. We'll see what his timetable will look like. And, prayers up to Cat. And, hopefully he can come back healthy.
He'll be fine. He'll live.
It's Mr. GQ. You sent me a super chat, but then he sent me another one and said, please get Damo's opinion on our rankings later too. But you see how the chat want to talk about the Nuggets as soon as we lose. When we win it.
Crickets
when we win it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, first of all, okay, Mr. GQ, knock off the nonsense. Y'all won the NBA championship last year. What are you talking about? It ain't like y'all ain't been in the playoffs in 10 years. We always talking about the Denver Nuggets. Y'all got the best player in the league on your team. Don't do that, yo. Like we don't never talk about Denver around here. We talk about Joker all the time. We talk about Denver all the time. Don't do that. Do not do that.
Arguably the best player in the league. Arguably.
I think he's the best player in the league, but that's just me. But with that being said, we talk about the Denver Nuggets all the time. Don't act like we only talk about them once in a while or when they lose. No, we don't. That's not true.
Yo, is it any team that we really just like be up here playing that we just don't talk about?
Well, if I say the Wizards or something, you're gonna be like, we shouldn't talk about them anyway. So do you mean like good teams?
No, like, all right, so I will put it on a scale. like as much as you deserve to be talked about. Obviously, the Wizards deserve to be talked about a whole lot less than, for instance, the Lakers. You see what I'm saying?
We don't talk about Orlando enough.
I'm gonna say Orlando deserves to be talked about more than a lot of teams, and we don't talk about them.
Dama, you've been pushing that agenda for a minute.
We talk about the Lakers. We talk about the Lakers more than the Magic.
We talk about
a whole lot more than the Magic.
Remember when there was a 13 seed last year and it was almost playoffs, and y'all had us up here talking about them?
Damo, so you agree that we should talk about the Magic more than the Lakers?
I've been saying we should talk about the Magic more, and a lot of these teams
behalf of the Lakers.
But more
yes, I am willing to sacrifice Laker talk time, just like I was willing to sacrifice Laker national televised games for the Magic. I would love it. I'm so sick of the damn Lakers.
And Chicago has been solid for like 3 months, and we haven't spoken about them. But,
Who?
Chicago.
What about them?
Ever since they started like 5-14, they've been a good basketball team. Ever since then, and we just don't talk about them.
Also, another thing we don't talk about, Mars brought up the Wizards. I mean, y'all might have thought he was joking. Jordan Poole off the bench is resurging his career. Like, he is saving himself off the bench. Now, they might still suck, but he don't suck as bad no more.
And Brian Keefe is a better coach than Wes Unseld Jr.
Yep. Anybody is a better coach than him, Mars. You think he's the worst coach in the league. So what are you talking about?
Yeah, but I mean, I've never heard of Brian Keefe like coaching before. So shout out to him. Like, I think this is the first time he's head coaching. So shout out to him. He's better than Wes Unseld Jr.
That's until some time goes by. You see some schemes that he's running, and you're like, he's terrible.
All right, Damo. Now that you are here, I can read this super chat. From It's Mr. GQ to you. He said, rank in order. 2022 Warriors with Shaq. The 2024 Bucks with Kobe. The 2020 Lakers with Bird. The 2023 Nuggets with MJ. P.S. JT is 15 for 46. In the clutch time this year, ranks 25th out of 25 players with the minimum 45 field goal attempts.
Just so you know, KD is at the bottom 5 of that list too. Just so you know. We just got.
Is that a trick question, or am I bugging, or does one of the teams have Michael Jordan?
No. See. My gut reaction is to say the team with Jordan, but which Jordan is it? Is this 80s Jordan or 90s Jordan? Because if this is Jordan with no left,
MJ who could go, MJ who could go left sometimes. MJ who could go left sometimes.
This is the MJ with no left.
Dudes are taking years off my life, yo.
It's fine. It's fine. Jokic and MJ will just do the dribble handoff on the right side of the court.
Right. Can you believe this?
They'll just do the dribble handoff on the right side of the court.
I don't believe it.
Why would you do that, Damo?
Man, we done with the 80s. We done with the 90s, chat. Say it with me. We done with the 80s.
Michael Jordan plus Jokic and Murray and KCP and Gordon sounds like it's probably it. But Shaq plus the 2022 Warriors would be dope too.
I'm about to say that would be my second pick.
But Wiggins, but the problem is they had Clay,
just
Wiggins.
Wait till Luka gets that switch on Shaq in the playoffs.
Hold on, respect the 2020 Lakers with Bird. Remember, that's when they had the white.
Don't respect it.
All right.
Take Kuzma out the lineup and put Bird in there. What's happening right now? What's going on?
No, but they have to play.
What's going on?
I gotta get some fresh.
They have to play.
I'm about to lose my mind over here.
You know how
what's going on right now?
Hey, I love Bird. You know how many guards we put Bird in pick and roll right now, bro? Think about
what's happening right now? I'm losing my mind.
Come trail real quick, Bird.
Taking Kuzma out the lineup and putting Bird in the lineup. I'm losing my mind. I'm for real losing it. What is going on right now?
Wait, Ron, what did Bird say? He said he thought it was disrespectful whenever they put a white player on him, bro.
Right. What's going on right now? So Duncan Robinson is going to cover Bird. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Tyler Hero is covering Bird.
Why does the white guys have to guard the white guys?
Yeah. What's this?
So who else is going to do it? Jimmy Butler?
Why not?
I ain't lying, man. I seen some stuff from the 80s. I seen some of Bird's shot selection.
He would fry Jimmy Butler.
We done with the 80s, chill. Stop it.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you, Swiper, I could go pull up because I see all of these goofy films about Jordan. I could go pull up film of Paul George hitting the side of the backboard, Russell Westbrook throwing the ball in the third row.
But guess what? They can go left.
They all dribble more than 3 times with their left hand when they do it.
I'm trying to imagine Michael Jordan playing from 1984 to 2003 and not being able to go left. I'm losing my mind.
We see it today. Zion Williamson still can't go right.
James Harden can't go left neither.
James Harden can't go left. We're not going left.
It's not just exclusive to old players. There's current players who still can't use their off
That's my point. But even though it's not true, Jordan could use his left hand. Jordan was great going to his left.
At a certain point, he got better at it, but there was a point in time where you can say,
but Bron couldn't shoot for a while. I don't understand that. That doesn't
that's
make
true.
any sense.
That's very true. What do you mean it doesn't make sense? You just said a true statement.
Okay,
that's cool. We're pointing out a flaw that he has.
Yeah, but all of a sudden you point out a flaw of anyone who played before 1995. All of a sudden you're just a hater and you don't know what you're talking
about. No, you can point out a flaw, Mars, but this is what you're not doing. This is what we're not doing, Mars. I'm not pointing out a flaw of LeBron James. I'm not pointing out a flaw of James Harden. I'm not pointing out a flaw of Russell Westbrook and going, yo, the 2010s is whack. Get the 2010s out of here.
I would say
he ain't doing that.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm
in another 10, 15 years, I wholeheartedly believe there's gonna be a generation of basketball
when there's 25 Wemby's running around
that look back and be like, yo, LeBron deadass could not shoot. Yeah, they go back to 2007. They just went under every time and let him shoot.
Don, wait till you're my age. You don't want to choke your donut.
I'm gonna be right there. If 30 years from now I see every team has 2 Wembys, who am I going to be holding on to Russell Westbrook?
Kobe was a plumber. Kobe played against plumbers. Kobe wasn't. I'm telling you, you're going to want to.
Like every team going to have a bunch of Wembys, and I'm meant to be like, you know what, Russell Westbrook was the best point guard of that. Like, no.
We done with the 2020s.
You think I'm not prepared for another 15 to 20 years?
You're not.
People to go back to the 2010s and be like, all right, late 2010s, cool. You got Giannis and Jokic. Who are these guys Marc Gasol was competing with at center in 2011 and 12? When they do that, I'm going to be like,
yeah, like when they start seeing Al Jefferson, I'm meant to be vouching for Al Jefferson?
Like what? I'm going to be like, no, you're right.
Y'all not going to vouch for Al Jefferson?
In 2050?
Not compared to Wemby, no. If they go back and be like, yo, the 2010s,
are we comparing Al Jefferson? Comparing Al Jefferson to Michael Jordan? Is that what we're doing right now?
I mean, Al Jefferson could go left. I don't think you want
to. My point is, I'm all for judging players relative to their time. He could.
No, he's not.
I'm all for judging players relative to their time. If you want to be like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson and Dr. J, great in their era. I agree.
Yeah, but vouch for Al Jefferson.
But once you start saying, "Oh yeah, they're just gonna come into today's league and be the best player in the world," I'm sorry. I've seen the game has evolved. I'm sorry, Larry Bird ain't gonna be the best player in the league today. He's not. I don't know what to tell you.
Now,
Jokic is just better than him.
Now I say all this about Jordan,
but
I'll pull up the film of AI saying he ain't have a left.
And
then what? Then what we gonna say? AI saying he ain't have a left. What we talking about now?
How long did that go on, though? I want to make sure I'm clear. I want to make sure you're clear, Damo. So we pull out the film of Jordan. I don't know. Let's say in 1985, his left hand wasn't really that sharp. Let's say 1986, his handle wasn't really that sharp. But as time went on, it got sharper. Just like other guys who today their handles got sharper, their jump shots got sharper, their skill sets got sharper. But if I listen to Damo tell you, Jordan didn't have a left hand. Period. Get the 90s out of here. So that 30 a game that he was scoring that 30 a game just dunking on everybody. That 30 a game he was scoring, he was just going right, and he was never doing anything else but just pounding the ball with his right hand. His left hand never got better, even though
he'd go left and just pull up.
Chill. I'm not that far off the deep end. I know Jordan had a left in the 90s. I will say that. When I say we done with the 90s, I'm talking about other players. In the 90s, I'll give it to Jordan. He had a left. But that 80s film, Chill? Oh, that 80s film is disrespectful to the game of basketball. Lack of left hand.
Definitely saw him going left, running down the gut, dunking on 3 guys. Definitely.
Yeah, you seen him going left. With his right hand and then racing up.
Saw him going left, dunking on guys. That was going on. It's a difference between being on the left side of the floor and using your right hand as opposed to going left.
Many times.
Give me a break. Y'all dudes just killing me.
That's my only issue. I don't like the people who are like, oh, Magic Johnson in today's game is just the best player in the league. Like, no.
In the 80s, I seen Jordan go behind the back to his left and then catch the ball with his right hand. I don't trust him.
He talking about that Milwaukee game when they played and he hit a buzzer beater. That's the game he's talking about.
That's fine. I don't.
He's talking about that Milwaukee game because I've seen him go left on Kenny Skywalker and get an and-one layup in 1988. I seen him go left on Sidney Moncrief and dunk on the whole crew. I have seen that. I've seen him.
Ben Simmons make a play
one time.
And chill. That's the thing. That's why, like, when we get to talk about MJ's left, it goes in one ear and out the other. To me,
it does.
MJ go left and dunk on your ass.
Yep. I see
multiple different ways off 1 foot, 2 foot.
Damo, 1989, Phoenix Suns on CBS. Jordan throws the ball between his legs, and he got Kevin Johnson switched on him on the wing. Throws the ball between his legs, left hand goes right down the gut, punches it with the weak hand. 1989. I'm done with you in these 2010s, Damo. I'm sick of you.
No. You want to know why I'm shaking my head, Chill? You want to know why I'm shaking my head? Because this is so disingenuous. Because if we were talking about young LeBron, and mind you, we're talking about the years where Jordan was a loser. So this isn't even Jordan winning. This is just him putting up good numbers. If we start talking about 2000s LeBron, and I mean, was he really complete compared to everybody else? You didn't have a jump shot. You could just go under. You could just let him shoot. And he would use all that space to still rise up and dunk on you. If I was to sit there and reply to Ron saying that with, everybody went under LeBron, and all he did was go straight to him and dunk on everybody and average 30, another 30-point game for LeBron James, another 40, whatever it is for LeBron James. It'll be, but whatever, he's still not doing X, Y, and Z. But with Jordan, it's, he was one-handed. I'm looking in the chat. He was one-handed, but how great do you got to be to score 36 a game with one hand? Like, all right, buddy. Like, cool. Whatever. I get it. All right. I get it.
And you talk about and buddy, you talk about living rent free. You here the whole time talking about me, nigga. That's what you doing here. You always tell you always.
I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean
no, not you. No, because I see him in the chat. I see him in the chat the whole time he been here. You know what he been doing? He been talking about me. That's the whole time he been here talking about me. You want to talk about rent free, brother? Anytime I'm not around
timed out again.
I live in your head, dude. You always talk about you live in my head. Your day is constructed around me. Like when I leave here, I don't care about nothing else. You, on the other hand, you wake up in the morning, you got your coffee. Yo, I'm gonna go talk about chill. You think I do that with you? No, I'm dealing with my boys up here. That's who I'm dealing with. You, on the other hand, when you come here, you wake up in the morning, you kiss whoever you talk to, and in the process of that, yo, I'm gonna go cook. I'm gonna go try to cook chill. That's your day. When you leave here, yo, wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna cook chill. That's your day. Your life consists around me, B. If it didn't, then you wouldn't be talking about me as much as you do. You want to take me out, fam? You want to hang out sometime? Is that what you really want to do? Is that what it really is? Because that's what it sounds like. That's really what it sounds like. You really love me, but you try to act like you don't. You really obsessed with me, but you try to act like you don't. And I think it's funny as hell that you do. You talk about rent-free, nigga. I live in the most expensive space in your head. I'm in your head on the regular, and you can't handle it. Give me a break. Now, Damo, back to you. Let's get back on this LeBron James being in the 90s, being in the 2010s, and the fact that you going under screens, and Jordan not having a left hand. I'm done with you. I'm sick of you, Damo. I am sick of you, and I'm sick of this logic about because y'all dudes don't know how influential you are. I gotta listen to these dudes. I'm telling y'all, dudes taking years off my life. If y'all find out,
I be seeing you on TikTok. You be getting mad at these people talking about that.
I'm telling you, if you find out that I'm in the hospital, I had a stroke, it's gonna be because of y'all, yo. That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be because of y'all.
But true, so you've seen the 80s and the 90s, and like you can see the game.
100%. It's advanced. The 1987 and 2024 is like this. It's not even close to the same thing. But to say that a dude who played for that long and was that good couldn't go left, I'm like, wait a minute. That's like saying Walter Payton couldn't run up the A gap. He only ran on the outside for like 7 years. He couldn't handle contact. Like, really? How am I going to be a starting
AI couldn't go left.
That's not true neither.
He said it. He's the one that said he couldn't go left.
Yo, if we was to break down Allen Iverson film, Allen for sure is going left.
Right.
Okay. Okay. First of all, as someone who has watched extensive Allen Iverson, I know you guys have too.
Right.
When he does go left, he's gonna go back right. That's what's gonna happen. So yeah, he drives left and he brings it back right. That's what's gonna happen. I've watched enough Allen Iverson to see it because I used to be a hater. He doesn't go left. Everyone who guarded AI says the same thing. You know he's going right. Daniel Martin says it.
Does that mean he can't go left, Odamo?
Gilbert Arenas says it. You just couldn't stop him going right.
I'm not gonna
stop him going right.
Does that mean he can't go left?
If you would have asked me, I would say, nah, AI could go left. But then after hearing Allen Iverson himself say, "Oh nah, I can't go left," I don't think the nigga lying about himself. Like I don't know what to tell. If we get to the point as basketball fans to where we are saying to the athlete talking about his own game that he's lying, like, "Oh nah, don't say you couldn't do that. You could." What? Like I don't know about that. Like I don't. Maybe that's just where it goes too far. That's the line, I guess. Like Allen Iverson himself said he had troubles going left, couldn't go left, whatever the case is. He said that about his game. Ron, show me whatever film you want. That nigga himself said he couldn't go left. I don't believe AI.
And the thing about that though is he was going right all the time.
In Mars, I mean, you just said it though, Mars. Like, okay, even if that is the case, like, boy, unstoppable.
And I'm that's
right,
that's the issue we seem to be having. When it's today's players, we're quick to talk about the flaws in someone's game. If someone says, like Domo said, LeBron couldn't shoot, and then someone says, well, he's unstoppable, people are still gonna refuse that response, even though the proof is LeBron's unstoppable. But we say an old player who there isn't enough footage on couldn't do something. They couldn't be stopped. Why can't we just acknowledge both things are true? They were great players. He couldn't go left. LeBron James, great player. He couldn't shoot for a while. Steph Curry, great player, can't play defense. Magic Johnson, great player, can't play defense.
Jordan was not flawless. Jordan was not flawless.
I don't get why
Jordan was not
flawless. You say a weakness about an old player, God forbid they're a champion, their weaknesses mean nothing. Larry Bird has a weakness, but he has 3 rings, 3 MVPs. Magic Johnson has a weakness, 5 rings. Kareem has a weakness, 6 rings. Like, what? That doesn't mean you're not weak.
But hold on, hold on. Let's leave Kareem out of this. Kareem is exempt of this conversation.
Like, the idea that these old guys, you can't point out their flaws, but these current guys, we can talk about everything Giannis can't do. For 10 years, we'll talk about everything Giannis can't do. All we do is talk about everything Ben Simmons can't do. We talk about the things Steph Curry can't do, KD can't do, all of this. But you say a weakness about an old player, all of a sudden, you just committed unjustifiable war crimes. Like, no. Same energy. That's what I'm saying.
War crimes.
Same energy. That's it. If we can talk about the weaknesses of today's guys, either you do your research and talk about the old guys, or you just don't talk about them. But you can't praise these old guys you've never watched, and then when someone else criticizes them, you just want to act like it's untrue. That doesn't make sense.
It wasn't. Now, just so you know, fellas, it wasn't just Jordan's weak hand. He had a weak handle. It wasn't just his weak hand. He had a weak handle.
Early, he had a weak handle. Yeah.
You're right. Mike handle wasn't extra crispy. He worked on it, and it became better. Right? It wasn't like it was something that he came into the league and he just had an extra crispy handle. No, his handle was definitely weak, and then he worked on it, and it got better. It got better over time. He was able to put the ball in his left hand as time went on. He was able to have a pull-up jump shot going left as time went on. But showing up in the league, just like anybody else, just like Wemby. Mars, you talk about Wemby. What's one of Wemby's biggest weaknesses that's going on in the game today? Wemby can't screen. Wemby doesn't know how to set screens. Now that's gonna now it's prevalent now and as big a deal as the pick and roll is today. The fact that Wemby can't set screens, that's a problem right now. Now moving forward, Wemby's gonna learn how to set screens. 1, he's gonna get stronger. 2, he's gonna understand the game better, and he's gonna learn how to set screens. But what I don't want to see is I don't want to see in 20 years the fact that over 2 or 3 years, Wemby couldn't set screens. Yo, we done with the 2020s. Wemby couldn't screen nobody. Wait a minute. No, we ain't doing that. Hell no, we're not doing that, Damo. I swear. Hell no.
All right, y'all, moving along. Trey Lett said, I need some chill merch with, quote unquote, shut up, buddy, on the front. Does anybody else got any chill merch that they would like on the front?
Oh, you talking about more chillisms?
Oh. Yeah.
Don't worry, I have the bingo card. Bear with me.
Here we go.
So you've got. I can appreciate that logic. The punch drunk boxer analogy when talking about Mike D'Antoni and the Phoenix Suns. You've got meat and potatoes. Who can forget meat and potatoes? When a player gets traded for something less than their worth. A six pack and a bucket of extra crispy.
That's the one I need. I need the 6-pack and then a bucket of and just a bucket of chicken.
When he's listing his top 10, James, Jordan, Jabbar, Chamberlain, Russell. I can't remember the rest, but it starts with James, Jordan, Jabbar, Chamberlain, Russell, Magic Bird, Duncan, a large one, Diesel. There we go. And then he got Brian at 11. We got which one? What else do we have? We've got I can or can't get with that logic. We got that one.
That's like a chick. Like that's like
we got the chick analogies for sure. The chick analogies. We've got his stop and pop game in transition. We've got. I'm glad you brought that up. We've got the long ball line.
Yeah, the good old.
Taking years off my life. Don't forget that one. You taking years off my life, B.
Taking years of my life, or you got gonna crash my car into a telephone pole. What else do we have? We got players turning their brain off. We've got focus. What else do we have? Marcus, and then you've got only go as far as insert player takes us. There we go.
It's a new one that won't be on there.
There we go. Goofy logic too.
Yo, Damo.
Pass that. I love
That's
it. That's what I'm gonna need. I'm gonna need that shirt.
Shout out to the chillisms, man. If someone else wants to make a new updated bingo card with more chillisms, send it to me.
Oh no, ask James B. James B got it. I think James B literally wrote down everything Chill has ever said.
Yeah, we need the chillisms. Oh, money mid range game for sure. Money mid range game.
I don't think I'm the only one who ever said that, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Savion S said, "Yeah, give Rudy more touches based off his minimum Olympic sample size. Like we haven't seen him in the league for 10 years. That's crazy. All the coaches he's had over here got him twisted."
Have we not seen guys in the past get used a certain way and we didn't know that they could do certain things? Have we not seen that? I'm sure in the past we've seen guys who have gotten used in a certain way, and then you find out, oh shit, I didn't know he could score. I didn't know he could rebound like that. I didn't know he was that good of a transition player. But then you find out later on because he got used like that. And I don't know.
All right, DSG Piccolo said, "I get what Damo's saying, but he calls Jay a bald-headed menace. So whenever he speaks on so whenever he speaks on him, I gotta assume he hating. Dub Damo though, nigga, hilarious."
Is Jordan not a bald-headed menace?
I thought that was a very fair name to give him.
He's bold. He's a menace. Bald-headed menace.
There you go. All right, y'all. We got a bunch of new members. Before we get into our topic of the episode, Monka became a member. Welcome to the family. Indy City C. Sorry Key. OBG Kenobi. Dominique Balou. Boy Wonder didn't become a member, but he's been a member for 5 months. So shout out to Boy Wonder. Shout out to 8 Gates Lee. Jamaica's Rod Clyde Choice became a member. Necro X also became a member. King Kato. Styles Blackman in the house for 8 months. Jalen became a member. Birdo, RJ Lewis, all became members today. Shout out to everybody that's rocking with us and is a part of the family now. We deeply appreciate y'all. But let's go ahead and get into it. Draymond says that Wembanyama is not the defensive player of the year. I'm going to go ahead and play this snippet for y'all just so y'all can hear exactly what he said. And then I want you guys to let me know your thoughts, comments, and feelings about this.
That big old jug. Jesus.
We can. If you're going to give Defensive Player of the Year award.
All right, here we go from the top.
Wemby is 12th in the league in steals, first in blocks. And those are great numbers. And as he continues on in his career and that team gets better, I don't think those numbers are going anywhere. I don't think Wemby's going to block less shots. I don't think Wemby's going to get less steals with his length. And so he'll have these numbers and he'll have opportunity to win Defensive Player of the Years. I personally don't think that is this year. Even if Rudy Gobert wasn't having the season that he's having and their team having the season that they're having, I still don't think you can give that award to somebody who's on the 24th best defense in the league. If you are doing that, but then you got to move the needle back for Jayson Tatum. It can't be, oh, man, they got to win a championship before Jayson Tatum can win MVP. You got to move that needle back because clearly we're just moving the needle whenever we feel like we can. If you're going to give Victor the Defensive Player of the Year award.
That's such a faulty analogy. That's a faulty comparison. And what's going on with the Jayson Tatum MVP propaganda recently? Like, I've seen it on national TV. Like, it comes up on my TikTok of like Stephen A pushing it. Not NBA players are involved. I don't want to accuse the NBA of just hating the European players or the foreign players. So, but something shady is going on. I don't know why they're all pushing this Jayson Tatum MVP prop. But Jayson Tatum not winning a championship isn't equated to Wemby winning Defensive Player of the Year on the 24th ranked defense, because Jayson Tatum's MVP argument is about the fact he's on the best team in the NBA. So the argument would be, if Wemby can win Defensive Player of the Year on a 24th ranked defense, a guy like Luka should be able to win the MVP as like a 6 seed. That would make the analogy make sense. Not, well, Jayson Tatum should be the MVP, even though he hasn't won a champion, because that's Wemby's not winning Defensive Player of the Year in spite of playoff success. It's not about the playoffs. It would be about his team success in the regular season. But Tatum's argument for MVP is about his team success in the regular season. So Wemby winning Defensive Player of the Year would hurt Jayson Tatum's case, not help it. So I don't get what he's talking about. It's just a bad comparison. But he's trying to push Jayson Tatum MVP propaganda for whatever reason.
Wemby's just not going to win because it's not a good enough defense when he's on the court. It's just that simple. I think a lot of that has to do with the roster. A lot of that has to do with how they play him. But he's just not winning a period just because he's not been the best defender in basketball this year. I mean, I think it's been Rudy since about week 2. It's going to be Rudy, and Rudy's going to have his 4th. And he's going to go down as a generation's best interior defender, one of the best interior defenders of all time.
Let me ask you this, Swiper. Is the defensive player of the year, excuse me, is the defensive player of the year, does that mean that you're the best defensive player in the game?
I think that it has to be said at this point that the fact that Rudy has been able to accumulate in the same era of Bam Adebayo, Anthony Davis, and other elite defenders 4 defensive player of the years in a 6-year span?
7 years. 4 times.
Years?
If he wins it this year, it'll be 4 times in 7 years that he won it.
Yeah,
He won it in back-to-back, and he won it in back-to-back seasons too, by the way.
Yeah, and then you just don't do that on accident. I think Draymond and Kawhi were battling for that at the apex, and from 15 to about 17 or whatever. But I think Rudy has just solidified himself that he's the most important interior defender in the NBA. And I think Anthony Davis is great, but the Lakers defense also isn't good this year. It's just not. And AD is a part of the reason why. Now, I think the roster doesn't help him at all. I want to give him respect to that. I think he's one of the 2 or 3 best defenders in the league, and he makes up for a lot of their deficiencies. But Rudy with the Utah Jazz, they still had number 1 defense, even though the fact they had Donovan Mitchell and Boyan on that roster, and they had Joe Ingles and all that. But I just think Rudy is just clearly has solidified himself, man. And I think the Tatum thing, I'm with Mars. I feel like this is some media members pushing the American player. Because guess what, Damon, you know this very well because you locked into all this stuff. But they didn't vote Devin Booker when they had the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. They didn't, and the same people that voted Embiid for 3 seed last year, Giannis was the 1 seed with the best record in the league. So we've had this consistently that's not been the criteria for a lot of these people, but it does feel like there's this not anti-global basketball push, but I think people are really trying to prop up Tatum just because they feel like it's hard to be on this good of a team and to not have somebody be able to represent an MVP conversation. But it's just, by and large, he is just not as impactful of a player as the 4 other guys that added him. And I already brought it up. If Kevin Durant had a better record, I probably would put him above Jayson Tatum as well.
If you look back at the defensive player of the year historically, over the last 20 years, Marcus Camby is the only guy that can say that he was on a team that wasn't in the top 10 in the league in defense. Everybody else over the last 20 years who has won the defensive player of the year has been on a team that's been 1, 2, or 3.
And he had one of the most outlier rim protection seasons ever at that point.
In terms of Marcus Camby.
That's what it took. That's what it took for him to do that.
Right, and it took something astronomical in order for that to happen. So more times than not, when you're talking about the defensive player of the year, it's the best defender on the best defensive team in the game. So Wemby, who, for all intents and purposes, is looking like one of the best defenders in the game, I feel like we're rushing him to be the best because what he came in and what he was projected to be. Wemby is going to be, he's going to be this at some point. I'm on record saying I think that in the next couple of years, Wemby's going to be the best defender in the game. He's not yet. I don't think he is yet because he still has a lot to learn. Add that to the fact that that team that he's on, they aren't, and they don't capitalize on how good Wemby is as a defensive team. So that's going to be a hindrance to him as the best defender in the game. So whenever you're talking about teams and you got the best defender in the game or the defensive player of the year, the main thing that you have to look at is how good that team is defensively. Because 9 times out of 10, it's the best team, it's the best player on the best team defensively.
I would just say
maybe.
Go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
No, I've been here, Damo. It's on you.
I was just gonna. I'm gonna just keep it short and sweet. Anybody that knows me know I'm about the consistency of how the award is voted for usually. If for over the past 20 years, if only one player wasn't a top 10 on a top 10 defensive team, and it took an outlier for him to really win it, then I would assume that. I mean, I'm not going to complain for Wemby not getting it. Do I think he should get it? Yeah. I don't like Rudy Gobert, so I'm biased.
Rudy is being stomped on this episode.
Yeah, y'all know how I feel about Baguette Bianco.
He deserves it over AD too.
Hmm?
Does he deserve it over Anthony Davis? Wemby?
In my opinion, yeah, I would say so. I think genuinely he's the best. I think he's the best defensive player in the league. In my opinion, that's just how I feel.
You seen what Sengun did to him, right?
I seen what Embiid. I seen what a lot of
but you seen what Sengun did.
I seen what Sengun did to him, and you know what?
Yeah.
Great offense beat great defense, and I think highly of Sengun. I told y'all Sengun this year would prove to y'all that he's a top. What did I say? Top 5 center?
Yeah, he said top 5.
I said that going into the season, so I think highly of Sengun. So that doesn't surprise me. But when it comes to this award, however they usually vote for the award, I'm going to lean towards that. When it comes to the MVP thing, I don't like the MVP comparison. That's dumb. Leave Tatum out of this. We're talking about defense. But for the MVP award, I've said the same thing. It's narrative driven, and it's either whoever we feel is having a great historical season and is putting up astronomical numbers, or the best player on the best team. Those are only 2 ways people are winning MVPs. And this year, it's a lot of people putting up crazy numbers, and they are winning still. It's not like these guys that are averaging 30 or whatever it is are on 6. All of them are 6 seeds. No. Shea is on the are they still the first seed in the West, or do they
tied for number 1? They tied for number 1.
Like Shea is fighting for the first seed in the West, averaging 30. Like there are players who are putting up great numbers and they're winning. Like maybe not more than the Celtics, but they're winning. So this whole push for Tatum, maybe it is xenophobia. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what.
Come on, man.
This year, man. This year is crazy. Like the past couple of years. With the xenophobia the past couple of years, it was like a little on the nose. It was like, all right, subtle jabs. They're being blatant this year. You got Gilbert Arenas calling for them to remove them out the league. I don't know how.
Yeah, well, that's Gilbert Arenas. Ain't nobody taking that.
And then Gilbert Arenas has since tried to retract that, not like he was saying it as a compliment to the European players. Like,
you know, we can't take him serious, bro. Especially if you're saying something like that. He can't be serious.
You saying that, but he has a huge platform.
He has a huge platform, but he's obviously just come on.
No, I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
It means that just because of your numbers doesn't mean you should be taken serious. It's people that got money that you shouldn't take financial advice from. You know what I'm saying? Like just because he has a big platform.
But you have a responsibility, don't you think, Ox?
You do.
Yeah, but yes, you got a responsibility, but that doesn't mean everybody's responsible. Like if you have a big platform, that doesn't mean that since you have a big platform and a lot of people watch your show that you should be taken seriously at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you remember, I don't know how old you are, Swipe, but when I was younger, there was a show called Jackass. And everybody watched it, right? I don't know if you know Steve-O and those guys, but they were putting stuff inside their body. They were doing crazy stuff. Bro. You probably shouldn't do that shit, but a lot of people watched it. So that's what I mean. But to the other point, though, I don't think Victor Wembanyama is really in the race for defensive player of the year. I think Rudy has it hands down anyway. So
who's the top 3 candidates though that you would say? I know you mentioned AD as well. You wouldn't say Victor's third?
Probably Bam.
Wemby is the second favorite, right? Like by the odds. I think.
That's cool. I'm not sure. Yeah, I haven't checked them. I just don't think he really had a shot. I think Rudy got it. I wanted to ask a couple questions about Victor's defense. And just generally asking, does he alter shots that he doesn't block?
Yes.
Okay, so yes. So I just wanted to make sure because I see that against Sengun, that game against Sengun, I was kind of like he got a lot of blocks, but
the shots he didn't block were like,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it was cool, but I think Rudy's a great defender though. I think he has some defensive player of the years in his future. I want to say this about Jayson Tatum though. I don't think he's the MVP, but I think he should be in the talks. I think he should be 1, 2, or 3 in as far as voters, like what people value, because he's been playing at a high level for a long time, and his team is clear of everybody in the East. They're running the East, and he's balling out. I also think that when players like Draymond have to play against these guys, I think he just respects Jayson Tatum's game. As far as I played him, and I think he's just as good as these guys. So that's just where I think that could be coming from. but I don't think he's going to get MVP. Like I said before, I think Luka's going to get the MVP. But if I had to decide who was probably the most valuable player on any team, I think it would be SGA. But I think Luka's probably going to get it.
You think Luka's getting the MVP at the 8 seed right now?
Well, I don't think they're going to stay at the AFC. They'll probably. I think they might be top 5 when it's all said and done.
Struggling lately, man. I've been surprised too with some of these losses they've had.
That defense has been abysmal. That defense has been abysmal the last 7.
If Luka can get to the 5 seed, if Luka can get to the 5 or the 4 seed, I think he'll probably get it. But I think if I had a vote, I'm giving it to SGA.
We actually ran down their schedule. Well, we ran down Dallas' schedule yesterday, and Big Ox and I ran down Dallas' schedule yesterday, and it looks like they could win 40 because they got a real favorable schedule the rest of the season. They could win 48 games, and 48 games. Yeah.
Hold on, chill. Right now, that means they're going to win 14 more games.
Yeah, they got 20 games left. They got 20 games left, Ron. They got 20 games left. They should win.
They can go 16.
If you look at their roster, if you look at their schedule, the teams that they have to play over these next like month or so, they should get rolling. They should definitely get.
They need to start playing some defense then.
They have, but these are games that they probably could win, and they should win.
They're playing Pistons, Bulls, Warriors.
Yeah, but look down their whole schedule. We broke down their whole schedule yesterday. We did the last 20 games. I don't know if I got them going 16-4. I probably 14-6. I don't know if I got them going 14-6. I'm thinking more 12-8, more 12-8. But that's even at 12-8, that's good enough to get them into the 4 or 5 seed. So
no, it's not because listen, there are 3 games. There are 3 games back right now. They have to play the Warriors 3 more times. You know they're going to be gunning. They got to play the Nuggets once. They got to play the Thunder. They play the Kings twice in back-to-back, and then they play the Heat again. They play the Thunder to close the season again. I mean, they could, actually, I think they could definitely win maybe 12 games. But if you look at the standings right now, the Pelicans are 37 and 25. So the Pelicans would have to just win 11 more games or on a 2-game win streak in order to get 48 games. And you got the Clippers got 40 already. I think that's going to be really hard. And then, hey, it depends. Actually, you like the Suns. Say they get healthier. I mean, that's gonna be tough.
Some people got to win, some people got to lose. I'm just looking on just based on the games I've seen. I can see it happening. And if they do go 14-6 instead of 12-8, like I think 14-6 is what Chilltown thought. So if they do that, bro, they're gonna move up. I don't know how high, but they'll move.
Just a quick question, and this is about the Tatum MVP thing. How many years? And let's just keep it in the 2000s. How many years has the MVP been the player on the number 1 seeded team? Like the best team in the NBA?
In the history of the NBA?
No, just since 2000. I was like, since
over the last.
We did it like last week. I think it was like 3, and like it was like LeBron, Steph, and Giannis. Like that's.
And I would say but the only reason why I say that
on the best team in the league, it was like
best team in the league,
best team in the league, yeah. My question to that would be, okay, if it's only happened 3 times. In those 3 seasons, did those 3 players do something we could deem historic, astronomically great, influential, dominant, just some perform? I don't think you can make that argument for Tatum this year.
JT not getting MVP this year.
Steph was unanimous MVP in one of them. The other one, I think, LeBron is second in Defensive Player of the Year, 1 vote away from unanimous MVP. Yeah. Steph in 2015, you could say wasn't historic, but a lot of people think he didn't even deserve that one. So there's that. I think the other one was Giannis in 2020, where MVP Defensive Player of the Year, so historic. Yeah. I think the other one that like people were like, I think was 07 Dirk, where he was like, did he do anything historic? And I think they were the best record in the league.
67 games that year.
So 07 Dirk is that the one where you could be like, well, he didn't do anything historic that year. Every other year, I think, was either it wasn't the best team in the league or it was historic. So Dirk is the exception. And he's a Euro, so you know what that means.
But I think it's the bad faith arguments, too, that we're hearing about the Tatum thing. I think it's just a lot of people that are being extremely disingenuous. And these are the very same people last year who all voted, like Stephen A., again, Perk did Giannis, Ramona Shelburne, I can't remember who she voted for last year because she talking about Tatum, too. But, like, these are people that all voted for Embiid for the most part. They reached a 3 seed. So it's just like, the narrative is shifting now because it's like, well, Embiid's gone, so we're gonna have to give it to like the next likely candidate we kind of want to push to face or whatever. And it's like it's Tatum, and I'm telling y'all right now, bro. Like I believe this. I think the Celtics are gonna be like feel really good in the playoff, bro. But dog, I think Tatum, that clutch stuff ox that we talked about a little bit. I know y'all talked about that. Some of the people, bro. It's gonna these series are gonna be a lot closer, man. I think people are just gonna realize like there's just there's a level that Tatum hasn't yet gotten to that he can get to. And I hear Chill. I understand why he has him as high as he does, but he's just simply not as impactful as a player as at least 4 other players in the league. And I think, Chill, you would also agree. You don't think he's that much better than Durant if you think he's better than Durant this season.
I don't think it's clear. I don't think that he's clear of Kevin Durant, but I do think that he's better. But with that also being said, I feel like a lot of these guys think that the Celtics are just walking to the NBA Finals. No, they're going to be in dogfights come playoff time, and they're going to be in a lot of close games. And coming down the stretch, these guys are going to have to deliver. And a guy like Jayson Tatum, who has shown that he can do it, also showed that he could disappear also, is going to be a factor. And that's, I think, a lot of the times what people look at when we're talking about him. So with that being said, I think this year is a year to prove it. When he's been
right.
This is the most talented team that he's been on. This is the best team that he's been on. I feel like this is the best that he's been since he's been in the league, and this is the best opportunity that he has to dispel all the logic about him, all the logic, because we don't do that with other guys in the league when they're on awesome teams. When you're on an awesome team and you get into the playoffs, we don't talk about, well, you was on the best team, that's why you were awesome. No, we don't do that with guys. We don't do that with guys as nearly as much as we do that with him. It's just a matter of him now producing.
You said we don't do which part? So can you repeat?
But the part that the majority of the time, like for example, Dirk Nowitzki in 2007, Dirk got roasted because they lost. Yeah. Dirk didn't get roasted because he was on the best team. He got roasted because the best team lost. You guys were supposed to be better, and if they would have won, people wouldn't have said that Dirk was on the best team. That's why he was awesome. No, they would have been like, "Yo, he's just awesome." Same logic with James when he was with both Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade. Kawhi Leonard when he was with Kyle Lowry in Toronto. It wasn't the idea that he was on the best team. It was Kawhi Leonard and he was awesome. So,
but Tatum's not as good as those players, so I think that's the discussion.
And I think that he has an opportunity now to prove that he can rise to that level that I think he can get to. But a lot of people haven't seen him get to yet. I think that he has an opportunity now, including this playoffs, to actually get to that point.
But Swiper said that these people were backing Joel, and now they had to switch over and back Jayson Tatum. I mean, does that not go to show that this isn't about a war on foreign players, though? Being as
Embiid's American.
Yeah, whatever. Come on, Marsh.
He is.
Come on, Marsh.
He is.
Come on,
but can't you? But are we?
It can't be a war on foreign players.
I mean, dare I say white Europeans? Dare I say?
Well, I think. Well, Ox, do you think that energy last year? I mean, do you think that energy last year was something for you though?
What interview was that?
The whole thing that happened in March last year. Remember when Perk went on there and called Jokic stat pattern and said white boys Nash, Nowitzki, and then Jokic not top 10 in scoring. Why are we handing him MVP?
That was just blatantly just ignorant. That was just ignorant.
That was wrong. I definitely did not agree with Kendrick Perkins. I thought that was wrong of Kendrick to do it when he did it too. I think that might have influenced some votings.
I mean, I think you hear conversations like, "Can the league have a non-American face?" And then the media's like,
the next time an
American, and the media's like,
MVP,
I think the face of the league has to be American. And then they start throwing names like Ja Morant as the future face of the league, or Anthony Edwards, or Jayson Tatum. Like, what else can I call that other than just xenophobia? Like, there's no other explanation for that to me. That you will ignore the best players in the league, but because they aren't American, they can't be the face of the league, and you're trying to push these other people who are clearly inferior to them as players, and you're trying to elevate them to that level. Like, that's
we've had this conversation.
There's something about that. That's something.
Of course it is. If Giannis was from Chicago, if Giannis was from Chicago, how would we be talking about Giannis?
Facts. If I did tonight, I feel like I would be xenophobic if I did tonight. You know what I'm saying? That's wrong. And I definitely, when you put it that way, Mars, I could see that. And then Chitchat, you brought that up again. That's a fact. If Giannis was from Chicago, You know what I'm saying? If Jokic was from Wisconsin, you know what I'm saying? It'd be different.
Which is weird too, because like we talk about Euros and how good they are, but then like American white players, they get roasted. Like who's when you think about American white players, who's an American white player that you remember?
Hero.
Tyler Hero, for example. Like we talk about Tyler Hero, yo, he's nice, but he ain't nice as Luka, and that's not because of them in terms of them play in terms of their skill set. No, Luka is from Europe, so that kind of adds to it. But Luka can't be the face of the league because he's from Europe, and that just doesn't make sense to me. Why can't he be the best player in the league because he's from foreign soil? That doesn't make sense to me at all.
Hey, Damo, do you think that's going to put? Do you think that this right now, what we're talking about right here, is going to be gearing up to putting way too much pressure on Cooper Flagg's shoulders? Can Cooper Flagg carry this weight?
Yo, he's gonna be the great white hope after Larry Bird.
Like Bird.
Larry Bird. No, he's not.
Cooper Flag. That's what he's gonna be. He's gonna be the great.
You
white
fight that, Damo?
I'm fighting it because I know for a fact he's just gonna get torn down, and people are just gonna criticize and scrutinize. I know this being, and I'm talking on a way smaller scale, but the way they do it on a smaller scale, the way people act when Laker fans hyped up Caruso was crazy. But he goes to Chicago, then everybody starts to love him a little bit more, but you only can love him to a certain point. The way people act when Laker fans hype up Austin Reeves, you would think that, hey man, y'all hate white people. Like it's insane.
But they're not as good as Cooper though.
And you don't know how great Cooper is going to be. So I know for a fact,
I think Cooper's going to be crazy.
And that's fine, but in order for Cooper Flag to be the great white hope, he has to come out and average 25 his rookie year.
He don't got to do all that, Damo. 18 is suffice. 16 would be cool.
16 is not enough.
I'm telling you.
18, no, 18.
He comes out averaging 16. He come out averaging 16 to 18 points, Ox, and is only shooting 31% from three. He's shooting relatively decent from the field, and he only rim running. Man, they about to eating him up. Oh, nah. Cooper Flag XYZ, he can't do this. We're just hyping him up because of it. They're just going
to. He got 18. He got 18 in the game. 18 in the game on him. Watch. When he gets to
are they going to call Cooper Flag sneaky athletic? Are they going to call Cooper Flag sneaky athletic?
He about to be catching bodies. More than nothing sneaky about it. He coming through the lane. He coming through.
Ain't no sneak. That's quick. That's right in your face.
Put some respect on Cooper Flag.
He will throw it on you. He runs right down the gut and he will throw it on you. Yes, he will. 100% he will.
Well, but to your point, I think he has 18. I think he definitely has the ability to come out and get 18. And I'm high on Cooper Flag. I'm just not high on everybody else. I'm not high on the media. I'm not high on basketball casuals. I'm not high on the basketball community appreciating players. And in a situation like this, where can he handle the weight of being the American white player to break the stigma? I think he can handle it. I just don't think he's going to get it. They're going to give it to somebody else.
What about Chet?
You already seen it with Chet. Chet can't break the hurdle of being compared to Wemby.
Wemby's in the league, though. People love Chet for Chet.
That's fine. I was high on Chet. We were sitting here this summer. I don't know how Chet about to be. He got to show it to me because I've been watching Chet since high school.
Already the best white American player in the league, bro.
I knew Chet was a dog, but you got people up here who didn't watch Chet in high school who would sit there and say, oh, nah, I don't know. We got to see. I got to make sure. So, no, it's going to be too many people who got us. No one's watching Cooper Flag right now, for real. People are not. When he goes to Duke next year, you might fake act like you watch him during March Madness, but people aren't really going to watch Cooper Flag next year.
Why did you say that, though, Damo?
Nobody going to watch Duke basketball?
A lot of people aren't basketball fans. They're NBA fans. That's one. When it comes to the draft, people do not watch none of these prospects before they get.
That's why they didn't think Luka was going to be good.
That's why they didn't think Chet was going to be all right and pan out after he got hurt in a pro-am game.
Dog in Gonzaga, though, bro.
He was a dog, but no one cared. No one cared though because they didn't watch Gonzaga. They're not going to watch Cooper Flag. They're not watching the draft prospects this year. Don't talk to me about prospects, man, because I'll get heated because people do the same dumb thing every single year. And I sit here say the same story every year, and no one listens. So don't even talk to me about the draft.
So to your point,
shout out to James Najee, man. Shout out to James.
Shout out James Najee, man.
Later.
All right, Swiper.
I'll see y'all soon. Mars today.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll catch you tomorrow, Swiper. Mars, I got a couple questions I got one question for you specifically, just in terms of the whole Wemby and Draymond thing. First question is, when do you think Wemby will win his first Defensive Player of the Year?
whenever the Spurs can be a good defense. So I don't know. Whenever that is. If it's next year, he'll probably win it next year. If it's like 3 years down the line, it'll be then. Whenever the Spurs are a good defense, will probably be his first defensive player of the year. I'm assuming with who they have now, 3 years from now, probably. So like 26, I think. Yeah, 2026, probably when he wins it.
And how many do we project, everybody, that he'll win over the course of his career?
Is vote fatigue a thing for defense player of the year?
Yes.
Because if it is, it doesn't really matter because Rudy about to get another one.
If it is, he'll probably end with the most of all time. So the most is right now is 4, right? Rudy about to get 4 as well. He'll end at least with 5, I think. At least with 5.
I think
probably more, but at least
I think he's a top 3 defensive player in the league for the next at least decade. Him, Evan Mobley, Chet is going to be up there in that conversation. So how many defensive players of the year he's going to win? I mean, I don't think that's going to be indicative to how good a defensive player he is because, again, he's already in the conversation for defensive player of the year today. I don't think he knows how to play defense like that. So wait till he actually learns how to play defense. It's going to be completely different.
Also, my next question is, I think we would all say it's somewhat long shots for both of these awards, but we talked about Wemby winning Defensive Player of the Year, and we talked about JT winning MVP. What do you guys think is more likely to happen this year? JT to steal the MVP trophy or Wemby to steal the Defensive Player of the Year trophy?
Jayson Tatum to win the league MVP. Because
you think it's more likely?
I think it's more likely for Jayson Tatum to win the league MVP than Wemby to win the Defensive Player of the Year on a team that's that bad defensively. I don't think that to have, because it's less likely. It's more likely for a guy to be on a team that's a top 3 team in the league and be one of the best players in the league as his team as good as it is to be the league MVP than a player who like Marcus Camby in 2007. I mean, how bad Denver was defensively, and San Antonio is significantly worse than them. And not only are they significantly worse than them, it's not like Wemby is doing what Olajuwon is doing, or it's not like he's doing what having a historical. I mean, he leading the league in blocks as a rookie. Manute Bol led the league in blocks as a rookie. So the idea that he could win it on a team that's a bottom 5 team defensively, as opposed to a guy who's on the best team and he's the leading scorer, leading rebounder, and leading assist man, I think it's more likely that Jayson Tatum wins the league MVP than Wemby wins the Defensive Player of the Year.
Also, Rudy's just going to be unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. It's hard to win an award over someone who's going to win it unanimously when the MVP is still up in the air. Yeah. Like, what's more likely? Draymond Green winning Defensive Player of the Year in 2016 or Kawhi Leonard winning MVP in 2016? I think we'd all understand it would be Draymond Defensive Player of the Year just because of what you're going up against. If you're going up against someone who's probably going to win it unanimously, it's harder to steal that award from them than when an award is up in the air and you're one of the candidates. So I guess that's why I think Jayson Tatum has it. Because right now, I think if the MVP voting was today, Jayson Tatum would get some first place votes. Maybe not all of them, but he'd get some. Like there'd be a few people who would vote for him first. I don't think anyone would vote for Wemby first. That's how strongly I think Rudy Gobert's case is. So I guess that's why I got Jayson Tatum.
Does anybody have Wemby? Gummo, Ox?
No.
No, not at all.
All right, y'all. I got our segment of the day. I was thinking. I'm like, Mike D'Antoni obviously had one of the craziest offenses of all time. When he had Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, Sean Marion, and the other players that they had coming through there as well. Shout out to all of them because I might not have named them, but they were all nice. But I started thinking, like, if we were to go and do an all-time draft, who would best fit in Mike D'Antoni's system? Now, I'm just talking strictly as a high-octane offense. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you guys one player from the 2000s, one player from the 2010s, and the rest got to be current players. Who would best, or I want to see who can best put together a high-octane offense. Keep in mind, this is strictly offense. Defense is not being factored into this. It's just your ability to obviously get up and down the floor. Remember, his offense was 7 seconds or less, and all the other stuff that kind of goes into it as well. But here's the thing. it's certain players that just got to be kept off the board because they just tip the scales too much.
Go.
So if you're just a unanimous top 20 player, then and y'all know who that is in the 2010s and the 2000s. All of those guys are just off the board.
Top 20 player ever or top 20 player of that era?
No, just all time.
Okay.
Yeah, of all time. But you know who that is. LeBron, Kobe, Shaq.
And Ron, you said one person from the 2000s, one person from the 2010s, and then the other three from current time.
Yeah. And also Steph's off the board as well.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on the screen, and we're gonna go ahead and get to it.
This should be really good. I like it.
Chat, y'all know the drill. I need an order. Drop me an order. Anybody but James B. Drop that order.
Crazy.
Anybody but James B. This
should be a good one.
Multi Eminem head ass.
All right, here we go.
And James B came in first. James B was the first order.
Nope.
All right, let's go. James got Damo, Mars, Chill.
So you picked James B anyway?
Yeah, I did my man dirty last time.
Who else?
On top of that, it's like,
Dorian, I think.
Chill kind of.
We'll go with James B's order. Shout out to James B. It was a decent order.
We're snaking this as well too.
Okay. Do we have to pick it in order? Like, do we have to pick the 2000s player first?
Nah, you could pick how you want to, and we're doing 7 players too.
And am I allowed to pick a player am I allowed to pick a player he already had, or does it have to be someone he's never had before?
No, you could pick somebody he's already had. I'm expecting 2 guys.
I think you already excluded. You excluded top 20, so I think we're good.
So Ron, five current.
5 current, 1 from the 2000s, and 1 from the 2010s.
5 current players.
James B telling me to stop.
Let's do it.
You president of the Haters Club. You telling me to stop? Crazy.
Okay.
You're drafting 7 players in total. 1 from the 2000s, 1 from the 2010s, and 5 in the modern NBA. 5 in the current.
Member of
just putting together the best lineup that will be coached by Mike D'Antoni.
Wait, so it's a lineup? Like, you're making a roster? You're not making
7 guys?
Oh.
Yeah, making a roster.
I was gonna pick like 7 point guards. Okay,
Mike D'Antoni's offense.
I was gonna pick 7 point guards. Okay.
And the only player off limits is Steph Curry.
Any top 20 player of all time.
Any top 20 player.
Any top 20 player of all time. Okay.
Any top 20 player.
That was clarified. I was gonna pick 7 point guards. I was gonna pick 7 point guards.
Okay.
No, you can't do that, Mars. That's not gonna work.
Now I understand. Okay.
All right, bet. So I got first pick, right? So from my first pick is gonna be a 2010s player. Give me James Harden.
He did have his best years with Mike D'Antoni. Yes,
sure
he did. He had his best years with Mike D'Antoni. 100% he did.
All right, Damo got James. Mars, who you rocking with?
Steve Nash.
Figured that would probably be the first 2. All right, Chill. You got it.
So we just gonna have just point guards. Who they throwing the ball to? You just got distributors. Who they throwing the ball to?
I got 6 more picks.
I'm still pulling out team.
I was about to say, because I love Ray Allen on the wing.
That's your first pick?
Yes, sir. Ray Allen cracking the long ball.
All right, Ox, who you rocking with?
Okay, so we're going snake. So I got 2 picks, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can make your pick and roll, do it right here.
Facts. You don't even want to do it.
So I'm gonna go with my 2000s. I'm gonna go with the 2000s and current. Give me Tisha Pinachera and Breonna Stewart.
Okay.
Give me Tisha P and Breonna Stewart. Yeah.
Don't even know who the first person is. So.
Who is Breonna Stewart rebounding against, Ops? Because we got to rebound. Okay,
Stoudemire. She got like a 7-foot wingspan.
That's right. I got Tisha Pinachera. I ain't tripping.
Tisha getting fried. She's small. She getting fried. I thought you was gonna say your homegirl from Seattle or your homegirl from Vegas.
I got 5 more picks, but I had to make sure I got Tisha Pinachera out there to run that PG.
Oh man.
Yo, who you got, bro?
He's building. He's got Mike D'Antoni coaching the WNBA.
He got Mike D'Antoni.
Ox, bro, can I get your picks, please?
But give me Tisha Pinnichero and Brianna.
Why can't Mike D'Antoni?
So now women can't play basketball. This is crazy. Women can't play basketball now.
Ron being misogynist.
It's NBA players.
That's crazy.
You ain't say that.
Facts.
You ain't say that.
I'd
write a complaint to HR.
I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it.
Why not? He can just coach a WNBA team. Are any of the players he named top 20 players of all time in the WNBA?
Yeah.
Oh, then off limits now. Take him out. Take him out. He can't break the rules. No. If they're top 20, then you can't have him.
Brianna Stewart's going to be a top 20 player all time. Yes, she is.
Then you can't have that. Nah. If they top 20, you got to take him out.
All right, so now y'all gonna force me to play. All right, fine.
Yeah, you can't.
These are the rules. No top 20 players.
You can pick WNBA players, but you can't pick top 20 players of all time.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. Give me Jason Kidd.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, I got J Kidd. Y'all all went with guards.
It's the first pick. Yeah. I think the most important thing for a D'Antoni team is a guard.
I'm about to say, yeah.
It's a lot of guards you can go with, though.
I'm getting the one who's arguably the best with him.
Give me Jason Kidd.
Hold on, wait, Ox.
He go back to back.
I got to sneak.
Right?
I got to sneak.
I'm not participating in this.
No, you're not. You're the host. Focus, Ron.
Yes, his name went on the thing.
Unbelievable.
Was it?
Matter of fact, Ron, on one J Kidd. Give me Ray Jean for the 2010s.
And will you get 2012 Rondo? Triple double Rondo?
Give me 2010 Ray Jean Rondo, 2010s Ray Jean, 2012.
Oh, so Ron is doing okay, bet.
Ron wasn't on the thing.
So he's automatically last pick. Yeah, he's
this man Ron just cheated and now he gets back-to-back picks.
I should have just went first.
This is crazy. You just gave yourself back-to-back picks and you weren't even on the comment.
Yeah, I should have went first, but I was being nice and I'm gonna decide to go last. Thank you, Ox. I'm gonna go ahead and grab Mr. Jason Kidd.
I damn crazy. You know what?
But hold on though. I gotta ask you guys.
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Y'all wouldn't let me have Brianna Stewart, but I don't want to participate. Man.
I
just asked if she was top 20. That's
literally right. He making it sound like because she a girl. I ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah, like we meant to just be allowed to pick MJ. Like we can just pick Michael Jordan. Like no.
I'm talking about Ron. Ron.
Ron.
Oh yeah, but you know Ron on his Mussolini.
That's crazy, Ox. Now you acting like a girl.
Yeah, Ron misogynist. HR gonna be knocking on Ron's door.
We are about to have another meeting, ladies and gentlemen.
HR about to be knocking on Ron's door.
Hey, y'all, check it out. If we not here until the last week of March, just know that we working on some in-person content, and that's really what's going on, y'all. Nothing too major. Don't worry about it. It's another piece.
Ron Junk. Hey, he said Ron Junk on.
Ron,
hey,
so
but
who you got, Ron?
Well, no. I don't want J Kidd either. Actually, now that I think on it, I gotta ask though. KG's not top 20, right?
Yeah, he is.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. KG's not top.
Okay,
I got KG at 15.
Who up here has KG in their top 20?
I mean, if I was able to pick him, I didn't. But if Ron about to pick him, I do.
Majority rules. Majority rules.
I got KG.
That's crazy.
Majority rules. If the majority of us have a player in the top 20, then they're unavailable. So KG unavailable.
All right. Well, I'm gonna just go with T-Mac then.
Hold up.
Ox, you got T-Mac top 20?
I got T-Mac top 20.
Is anybody else?
That's three. No T-Mac.
Insane.
No T-Mac.
I do not.
That's majority vote. That's
all right. That's majority rule. So, all right, that means T-Mac's off the board for everybody, which is cool.
He might come out my top 20 after this.
Dirk.
I don't have Dirk in the top.
Yo, this is nuts.
Dirk in my top 20. I don't know what to tell you.
I got Dirk 18.
There's no way Dirk could be a top 3 power forward and not be in my top 20, man.
Dirk in my top 20.
All right. Dirk off the board. This is nasty out of you guys.
It's nasty that you involved yourself in this.
Exactly. You weren't on the list, and now
you
you
had
got
nothing
yourself.
to do with this.
I'm sorry.
Right,
You
that's
picked
what's
top 20
nasty.
players.
You the one
All right,
involved yourself in this. So
I got KD. He's top 20.
I got KD in my top 20.
this is what we
No,
doing.
let me stop.
Matter of fact, go ahead, Damo. Go ahead, Damo.
KD
Go ahead.
top 20.
Go ahead, Damo.
I got KD top 20.
I got
Go-
KD number 16 right behind KG. So
Oh man,
Chill, you got KD top 20, right?
I do.
See? Majority rules.
that's tough.
Ron, you don't want to make it no
Ron,
top
you
20
should.
for
I'm
a
about to say
while.
you shouldn't even
You
play.
should just kept it and
Shouldn't even play.
no top 10. So
This would have been, yeah, Ron
This
the
is
one
what
who threw
happens when
himself
you
in
invite
there and
yourself
out.
to the cookout. This is
This
what
is
happens.
Exactly.
When you
This
invite
is
yourself to the
insane.
cookout and nobody told you to show up. This is what you get, Ron. Not only you not getting the plate, leave. Beat it.
hey, well, some people got James Harden top 22 though, Damo. So be careful, brother.
Ain't none of the people up here. So
None of them. Not one of
Ain't
them
none
are
of
up
them
here.
up here.
So let's do that right now.
All right. With that being
I for
said,
sure
I'm
don't.
gonna go ahead and grab Kawhi.
Whoa,
buddy.
Whoa. Flag on the
what
play.
do you think you were doing,
Flag
buddy?
on the play. Ron, get out of
What do
here,
you think you were doing?
man. Are you crazy?
What did
You know what,
Ron
y'all?
trying to for real walk out the store with a loaf of bread
What
without
did you
paying
think you were
for it.
doing,
Oh,
bro?
I don't want to play no more, y'all.
He thought he
You
could
know
get
what?
KD
Here we
and
go.
get Kawhi.
It's
Ron
It's
is
on-
straight trying to walk out the store
It's
with a
on-
loaf of
it's
bread
on
without
Ox,
paying
y'all.
for it. Like, I'm
Yeah,
gonna take
get
this
out of
out
here,
the
Ron.
store.
It's on you. It's on you.
it's on Ox.
He's
This
not
is
his
crazy,
Ron.
bro.
Okay. And my
I
so
feel
from my
like
snap-
T-Mac
my
just
second-
became available again. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely did.
I feel like T-Mac became available.
No, but I got so for my snake, so my second pick, I got Mr. 100 blocks, 100 threes with Sheed Wallace.
Okay. This is just building the offense, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I ain't picking no one who play defense. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'll take Jason Kidd.
Kid, chill. Mars, who you got?
So like if I pick a player who was in their prime in a different decade, but they played in the other one and it was still good, I can get them, right?
For example,
If I wanted to take 2011 Amari Stoudemire, I could, right?
But
No,
you're
Mars
not
is
getting 2008,
Mars trying
2009,
to he's trying to
2007.
circumvent.
I'm
the system.
getting 2000 Steve
on.
Nash and 2011 Amari.
He's trying to circumvent the system right here.
I'm asking. I don't get why that wouldn't be allowed.
I mean, yeah, I don't see why not either. I mean, he played in 2010.
He did play in the 2000. He did play in the 2010s. If that's the
But
guy
that means
you like,
you get,
okay.
but that means you get the Dallas version of Amari.
No.
You don't get the Phoenix version of him. Just so we clear.
I get Nick's version.
The broken hand Knicks version.
But he's not going to break his
Okay.
hand next to Steve Nash this time.
All right, that's cool. No
No,
problem.
I'm just asking. So that would be allowed, right?
Yes.
Okay, but I don't want him. Blake Griffin.
Amo, you got 2 back-to-back picks, so you rocking with.
You're muted, though.
Was y'all serious about Kawhi being in your top 20, or we was just doing more Ron Durham?
I'm 100% serious.
I do
He's
not. have
not in my top 20. He's not in my
Mine
top
neither.
20.
Mine
Yeah,
neither.
so I'm going to take Kawhi because he's not in mine either. I just didn't want Ron to get him.
Yo, that's crazy. How
I'ma
so we,
take-
yo,
I'ma
how we
take
go? How we
one.
gonna kick him off and then put him on? Like,
because
Ron should have been a part of the
Ron
draft.
wasn't even a part of it. For real,
Yeah.
like I'm being
oh,
honest
so
with
y'all
you,
was just doing that to bully Ron off the.
Hell yeah.
Yes,
I was serious.
No,
Well,
but
hey,
for what
guess
it's worth,
what?
I do
This
have
is
KD
corrupt.
in my
Yo,
top
this-
20. I
this
do have
is
KD in my
corrupt.
top
This
20.
is as corrupt as it gets. I don't
Bro,
know.
you are
I
not
do
inviting
have-
yourself.
I do
Ron,
have-
you are
If this
not
is the
inviting
case, I'll
yourself
just go back and back.
No, you are not, Ron. Beat it. You are not inviting yourself back.
I'm not gonna lie.
Get out,
I'm
Ron.
about to start
Yeah,
voting
nah,
again.
that ain't cool. That ain't cool
Get
because I
out.
don't got Kawhi. Because I don't got Kawhi because I thought that he was off limits. Y'all really cheating now. I'm not
that's
really
tough.
digging this.
I didn't take.
I told you
didn't have
T-Mac
T-Mac
was
in my top
available. I
20.
thought you knew that. Like, I thought that meant we was on the same page. That we was just banning people because
Yeah, I already knew what we were doing.
Oh, nah, y'all.
Well,
You
No,
said,
I
yeah, I
know
know
what
T-Mac
you mean.
available now. Like, I thought you was on the same page. I thought you knew.
Well, why wouldn't I take a T-Mac?
I don't know. You should have said
T-Mac.
something.
You was like, yeah, T-Mac for sure available now.
Ron, don't think you don't see what you're doing, Ron. Knock it off, Ron.
All right, now y'all got it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to
Go
call somebody to get Ron up out the cookout. We got to get Ron up
Not
out the
enough.
cookout.
Now that I know we were trolling about teammates, now let me stop. I ain't gonna do that. Oh, let me get. Let me get Wemby, man. Let me get Big Wembert, man.
Ooh. I'm not mad at that.
My other current player, my two currents, Kawhi and Big Wembert.
Oh, you got right now Kawhi too.
I have to because James Harden was my 2010s player.
2010s, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, Damo got Wemby. Mars is back on you.
Let me get Giannis and Antetokounmpo.
My Mars, who you got? Giannis who?
Antetokounmpo. That's what he was called as a rookie. Antetokounmpo.
Oh my God, that's not his name. Mm-hmm.
Chill. You got Ray Allen and J Kidd. Backcourt is set.
Mm-hmm.
Who else you thinking?
My backcourt is set, so I need a transition wing, and I can't have nobody in the top 20. Who can I have? Let's see. Who am I thinking about? A transition small forward. I'll take Sean Marion.
2000s?
Sean Marion is not a top 20 player, Damo. Cut it out.
Wait, how did Chill get two 2000s players?
Oh, we only get one. That's right. My fault, Mars. We only get one.
Ron, look in.
Wait. How do you know that's not 2010s Ray Allen?
Yeah, Ron, look in. What's going on?
What
I thought it was 2011 Ray Allen.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
I'm just trusting Chill's a stand-up guy. Chill does not have scumbag characteristics. So I would never expect him to try to get over on me.
I know. I'm not.
He just tried to get Sean Marion.
I'm not trying to get over on you. No, I'm not. So 3 current players. Okay, I'll take Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. I'll take Anthony Davis.
That's nice.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck y'all complaining for, nigga. We got rules for a reason. Goofy. The hell's the point of the rules?
Okay, so yeah, seeing as that right there is 2020 Rajon Rondo, I'm gonna go ahead and get 2011 2011 Chris Bosh.
2020.
I was gonna have called himself out. He drafted 2 2000s players and didn't realize.
Yeah, that's two because I got 2020 Rajon, 2002 Rashid, 2011 Chris Bosh. Okay, so we good. Okay, so now let me get so now I gotta get 4 more players, right? And
by the way, Ron, that's Anthony Davis. That's 2010's Anthony Davis. That's not current Anthony Davis. That's 2010's Anthony Davis.
Nice.
Yes.
So this Ray Allen is from what era?
That's 90s Ray Allen.
Hold on.
Hold on. Shuttleworth on his team. No way.
Yes, sir. Jesus Shuttleworth is in the house. Yes, sir.
That's a monkey wrench in it. We can draft 90s players too.
Hold on.
Yes, sir.
Yo, all right, hold on, because we gotta clean something up. Because look, even right now with you, Ox,
what?
It's one 2000s player, one 2010s player, and the rest of them are current. Rondo's not current.
Retired. Yeah, Rondo's retired.
No, but 2020s though.
No.
But he said current. He didn't say 2020s. He said current.
Oh, that's insane. So you're telling me anybody from 2020 to this season can't be on the list?
No,
I can't get anybody
unless they're playing right now.
Cutting out a whole piece of history.
Unless they're playing right now.
What's current, Mars? So
what you're saying is,
if you play right now in the league, that's the player you get.
So what you're
right
saying
now.
is, I can't have 2021. Anybody, I can't. That's insane, Ron. You can get
2021 person, but they're playing now. But you get that version of them now. But if you took James Harden for current, you get current James Harden.
So I can't have 2021 version of anybody. I can't have 2021 version of Kawhi Leonard.
No, that's why I said.
Oh yeah, see, this is just oppressive. This list keeps becoming more and more oppressive. You're cutting out a piece of history, and I don't know if I can get aboard with this.
If you would have named the 21st and 22nd greatest WNBA players, they would have been on this list, right? I promise you.
Yeah, you could have had.
Okay. So look. Okay. So that's 12. That's 2012 Rondo. That's 2001 Rashid, and take off Chris Bosh. Okay. Wow,
I got no problem.
I can't believe this is really happening right now.
So does Ox get 3 picks now?
So
no, I just get 2 picks. We'll just snake.
So we got to clean some things up. We do. We got to clean some things.
That's
up.
fine. Okay, that's fine.
This is all Ron's fault.
I'll take 2012 Rajon, 2001 Rashid. Okay, that's fine. Now give me. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit more. Give me De'Aaron.
I said, if you don't just take De'Aaron and Sabonis and call it a draft, like what? What? Like what? I thought that's what you were gonna do with the first 2 picks. I'm like,
nah. Give me I need a little more shooting. Give me Grayson Allen.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you went current for real. All right.
So Ron, to be fair, all right. So to be fair, I got 2 guys from the 2010s. So what I'm gonna do is
Karl-Anthony Davis and just make that 20.
Well, that's what Mars. That's what I was gonna do. What I was gonna do was what I was gonna do was I was gonna leave Ray Allen in the 2000s. I'm gonna take Jason Kidd off. I'm gonna take Jason Kidd off. I'm gonna make Anthony Davis current. I'm gonna put Russell Westbrook in the 2010s on my crew. That's what I'm gonna do. And for my 4th guy, I'm gonna take Jayson Tatum as a current player.
I was waiting.
Hold on. Say that again, Chip.
So take Jason Kidd out of my lineup. Put Russell Westbrook in my lineup.
2010s Russ? Okay,
yeah,
okay.
2010s Russ. Put him in my lineup. And for my 4th pick, give me Jayson Tatum.
Current Jayson Tatum.
Current Jayson Tatum.
Which I'm about to say, what Tatum would it be?
2018.
No,
I guess the late 2010.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
we can do that, can't we? Oh, bet.
I need some wings.
Light bulbs going off with Damo.
Current day wings.
Wait a minute, we can do that.
Devin Booker.
Okay.
Oh, never mind. He could just be my 3rd current player. Oh, or I can really get nasty. All right, bet. Wait, so what's the limit on current players? It's 3 current players, right?
5.
Everyone
from you still got your 2000s player.
Yeah,
5 current players.
That's gonna be the last one because we done with the 2000s for real. Let me take. Give me Luka. And give me. Should I take a 2000s player? Matter of fact, yeah. Let me get my 2000s player out of the way. Give me LaMarcus Aldridge. 2000s LaMarcus Aldridge.
Oh, 2000s LaMarcus. Okay.
Yeah, that'll be my 2000s player. Yeah.
Okay, so I got a point, a 2, 4, and we're gonna run a small ball, of course, then Tony. So at the 3. Although Jokic? You by yourself, buddy.
Yes, you are. You by yourself, brother. Mars took him out of my hands because I was going to take him. I think he's perfect for what D'Antoni's doing. I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, Blake Griffin. Giannis playing the 3. Giannis playing the 3.
I was moving Anthony Davis. I was moving Anthony Davis to the 4. That's what I was gonna do. I was moving Anthony Davis.
We gonna figure it out. We gonna figure it out. Giannis at the 3. He can move well enough.
I was moving Anthony Davis to the 4. Fast players. Let's see here. What do I have? So I got Russ at the 1, Ray Allen at the 2. I got Tatum at the 3. I got Anthony Davis at the 4. Oh, I'll take Joel Embiid.
Have fun having him run up and down the court.
I'll take Joel Embiid. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, she going back to back. Who you rocking with?
Let me get Luke Kennard.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let me also get Malik Beasley.
I thought he was going to take a different Malik. I was going to be scared.
Let's see here. I need another transition 4-man.
I do too, chill.
I need a transition 4-man.
Wait.
I need a transition 4-man. I'll take Bonchero off your hands.
I'm going to take Zion Williamson.
Okay, question. Y'all got KD top 10? I mean, top 20?
Yes.
I actually do. No trouble. I actually do.
Yes, Dabo.
Damn it. I thought I was
I also got Kawhi top 22, but you know.
It's just you. You by yourself. It's cool.
Yeah, I ain't Kawhi.
Let me think. He did take Zion. He took Paolo. I ain't gonna lie to you. If we ain't had KD, I was about to say, give me current James and then 20 KD. I was about to get nasty. All right. Let me do. All right. So the rest of mine's got to be current players. So these are my last 2 picks too. And they're current players. All right. And we can do like as long as they're in the 20. If they're currently playing, we can use any variant of their 2020 self.
No.
No.
What they are today.
Where they are today. Okay. Making sure. Just want to get all the details ironed out. Current. Somebody already got Devin Booker. Nigga say 2018 Oladipo. Almost. Let me get.
I pray you don't take my pick. I don't think you will.
I'm not gonna take your pick. I'm not taking your pick. I bet I'm trolling anyway. Let me get Bobo. Current Bobo. Let's tank the list. Let's tank the team. The team is already top.
This is wonderful. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, let's tank it. I don't care no more.
Are you really trolling? I mean, look like your first 5.
Nah, I'm not trolling. I mean, I'm not. No. My team was so serious. It's just I don't know how to round it out. So now I'm just getting players I like. Let me get Bobo. Actually, no, I'm joking. Take Bobo off. I'm not.
What?
Take Bobo off. Give me Chet. Someone's right. I seen Chet. Chet is correct. Let me get Chet. Throw Chet on there.
Chet and Wemby. Oh my god.
And then let me get. He got Paolo. Oh, let me get SGA.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Let me do that. Now round it out.
Okay, I have 2 options, and I don't know who I'd rather have. The options are Trae Young and Tyrese Halliburton.
What do you now, Miles? Remember what we're dealing with here, right? We're dealing with a fast-paced 7 seconds or less offense. Who is better in that offense? Remember who Trae Young is.
Halliburton plays faster, but Trae Young is better in the pick and roll. And I've got Blake, Giannis, and Zion. And then both of them can shoot. But then when you got Steve Nash, then who would you like? They both can't play at the same time because defensively we're ultimately cooked. But then Tyrese Halliburton not really going left for really just MJ of the 2020s. Let me get. Who do I trust more spotting up just in case?
I can tell you right now by the look in your face, you don't trust Trae Young as much. You don't. I can just look at your face and tell that you don't trust Trae Young.
Yeah, I don't know if you're trying to manipulate me into taking Tyrese so you can get Trae Young.
No,
because I know you think Trae Young better than Tyrese Halliburton.
I'm going in a different direction though.
Okay, just in case. Let me get. Let me get Trae Young. Let me get Trae Young. We're gonna take Trae Young.
That's your guy. Mm-hmm. Ron, I'll take Bay Area Kemba off your hands.
Dollar.
I will. Mm-hmm.
Ox, how you finishing your team?
I'm finishing my team with a lob threat. Rudy Gobert.
I thought Luke Kennard was your lob threat. Oh.
No, Rudy Gobert is my lob threat. And with me coaching this team, I want to let y'all know I will be busting y'all ass. So.
But it's Mike D'Antoni coaching the team.
I'm the assistant coach of Mike D'Antoni. So I'm taking care of the rotations.
I have by far the best offense here.
That's cool.
My team clears on such a high level of magnitude that y'all just don't understand. It's not even funny.
My team is so much better offensively than all of you.
Russ will throw the ball in the second row, but the fact that we play so fast, we're gonna get so many possessions, and yeah, we're gonna smoke you guys.
Does your team play faster than mine?
Yes, I think we do.
Whose team? Oh,
My team definitely plays.
No way. Embiid's just lumbering up the court, getting the ball at the nail, waiting for 10 seconds.
Russ is gonna speed up Ray Allen. Russ is definitely gonna speed up Anthony Davis and Jayson Tatum. And I love my pick and roll action with Dame and Embiid and Dame and Anthony Davis and my pick and pop action. Love that.
Y'all really slow as hell. And I got 3 of the best shooters. I got the best shooters and I'm the fastest. Like, come on, man. We doing this for Mike D'Antoni.
There's no way I'm looking at this poll.
I got De'Aaron Fox and in 2012 Rajon Rondo. I'm faster.
The poll is which team has the most high-powered offense, and you guys are picking Domo over my team. Have you lost your mind? Offensively?
Domo's team is crazy, Mark.
I'm gonna say, do you know the names I have for offense?
How is your team more high-powered offensively than my team?
James Harden, Luka, Shea.
How does James Harden and Luka even work?
They don't touch the court.
This is clearly a popularity contest. This is obviously a popularity contest.
There's no way offensively you're saying Domo's team is better, man. There's just no way.
First quarter goes to James Harden. Second quarter goes to SGA. We're gonna have
The question is not about defense.
In the third quarter, and then fourth quarter we finishing up with Luka. What are we talking about?
Defense is irrelevant. The question was about building the best offense.
Defense
offensively, no one comes close to my team offensively.
Defense is never irrelevant, even in an offensive conversation.
The question is which team has the most high-powered offense.
Real ball knows no defense always matters. Stop it, man.
Like, there's just no way.
Marge, you got the craziest front court by far, too. And I think one thing that slept on with Marge's team, and I'm just going to say this, Marge, if you would have chose Hallie, I would have went with your squad. But Jokic, I do, but I think Hallie would be perfect for
y'all got to remember, Mike D'Antoni's coaching these teams. I won.
But also, like, one thing that slept on with Marge's team, Marge got the best rebounder / outletter on the whole team. Like, when Jokic gets it, he's accelerating that fast break.
Yes. Imagine Jokic rebounds out to Giannis. Giannis rebound. Jokic rebound out to Blake. Blake filling the lane. Zion filling the lane. Then guess what? Devin Booker pulling threes. Steve Nash pulling threes. Trae Young pulling threes. Everyone dunking everything.
Everything you say.
No mid-range jump shots. The only person taking mid-range jump shots is Devin Booker. Analytics. Mike D'Antoni is cooking with this team.
Everything you said applies to my team too, buddy. I don't know what you're saying.
No,
mine too.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. No, it
Yes,
doesn't.
it
SGA mid-range merchant. Kawhi Leonard mid-range merchant.
Chet off the rim.
LaMarcus Aldridge mid-range merchant.
Chet off the rim. We got a streaking Wemby running like a gazelle down the court in transition. What are we talking about?
Hey, Ron.
Blake Griffin is questionable. Did you see Blake in LA? Blake Griffin is questionable. Just say you don't know what you're talking about. Blake Griffin.
Fellas, I will see y'all tomorrow.
Questionable. Oh, goodbye, Joe.
Yep, I'll see you dudes tomorrow. Yep.
Also lost your mind.
All right,
Blake Griffin is questionable. Did you not see Blake Griffin? Like, did you not watch him?
Yeah, that's kind of crazy saying Blake.
Mike D'Antoni offense, Blake Griffin, questionable. Silly person, silly human being. How dare you?
All right, y'all. We got super chats.
I'll definitely cook y'all in my squad. Y'all got to realize what's going on here.
Offensively, your team is atrocious. I mean, I guess.
Crazy. Look at all the shooters I got. I got Rasheed Wallace, Rajon Rondo, and De'Aaron Fox doing other things. But you see the shooters I got on my team.
I'm about to say what?
You said, look at the shoes I got.
I got shooters.
I was like,
Rondo. I'm like, wait a minute.
Oh well, no. But Rajon Rondo's distributing.
Rondo gonna hit the shooters. Yeah,
De'Aaron's speeding the game up. I got Rasheed Wallace, who's also a stretch big, a shooter, a pick and roll menace. I mean, come on, y'all. Like, with Mike D'Antoni coaching my team, yeah, we cooking, y'all.
I go, Jokic can stretch the floor, best passer. Steve Nash, he can shoot from all over the court, pushing the pace. Devin Booker gonna have the ultimate green light to shoot the ball, most spacing of all time. Giannis filling lanes in transition. Giannis getting blocks and pushing the tempo. Blake Griffin, the ultimate lob threat. Like, there's no way for the analytics movement of Mike D'Antoni. We're shooting threes, we're getting dunks, and we're playing the fastest pace you've ever seen. Like, that's and we're getting to the free throw line. Like, we just have the perfect analytical basketball team, which is my offense is clearly the most high powered. Now, are we playing
my WNBA team was finna spank y'all though. My WNBA team was finna spank y'all. I can't believe it.
Yeah, Ron was hating on you, man.
Facts. I was finna cook y'all.
Dominique Thompson said Oxen Chill lies and says Luka shoots a bunch of grenades, but last time I checked, less than 6% of his shots are 4 seconds or less. So speak facts and not push false narratives to big up other players like Tatum and talk real ball.
He never said Luka shoots grenades. He says he passes up grenades to his teammates. He never said he shoots them. He said he's giving his teammates grenades. So either you didn't listen or you misunderstood. He's saying the shot clock's running down and he's throwing the ball to his teammates to shoot the grenades. So you bringing out how many shots Luka takes with 4 seconds or less is irrelevant to what he said.
Irrelevant. And then Mars, that's just like this other goofy in the chat saying Shooter and Rondo in the same sentence. Yeah, okay, Oxford.
Yeah, they don't listen. They don't listen.
I don't know what's going on here.
Locked In said Patrick Mahomes too is a greater athlete than LeBron James.
Is he? Guess not.
Anybody?
Guess not.
Anybody?
Guess not.
All right. Pat's cooked. Darren Foss said Boston is a +12 with Tatum on the floor and is leading the best team in the world in points, rebounds, and assists. While being an elite defender, his MVP case isn't made up, Swiper.
There are +12 with him off the court, too.
It's just a +12. Like, what are we talking about?
Well, unless you want to include the minutes where they're already blowing out teams and then they're no longer a +12 without Tatum, they're only a +9. But if you care about minutes that actually mean something, they're a +12 with or without Jayson Tatum in minutes that actually hold weight. So, yeah.
It's Mr. GQ to you said, nobody mentioned the Nuggets while you was gone, Swiper. Nothing new. ... Hashtag, we love you, Chill. Probably should have read that while he was here. He probably needed to hear that.
Always wait until people are gone, man. That's what Chill says about Kobe, too. Everyone want to show him love once we're gone. Now you wait until Chill's gone to show love. No host.
It's about damn time. Says stop the disrespect towards Chill. Like, for real, OG giving us game on a lot of ball. Listen and learn. Shout out to Chill, the OG.
You're trolling now, reading all the positive super chats about Chill once he leaves.
Facts.
I got some negative ones for him too.
Well, I'm just saving the bad ones for last.
Darren Foss said, Cat bad on defense. That won't hurt them. Ox is right, though. Minnesota needs other ways to win the game, regardless of Cat being healthy or not to advance.
Yeah, they need other ways, but do they have the other ways?
God forbid they look better without him. Then I'm really pushing the trade Cat narrative this summer.
Boy Wonder said, heard yesterday's conversation last night. Mars depth perception? Really? People are born shooters? Really? Shout out Ox for standing on biz. That was nonsense.
You may have heard the conversation, but you clearly didn't listen to the conversation. So you may have heard the words, but you weren't listening. I never said you are born a shooter. I said people are born with more of a natural proficiency to be good at certain things. And that's just the reality. You can call it what you want. People are born with a natural proficiency to be able to do things. Someone left a comment yesterday. I can't remember their name, but they'll know who they are. Shout out to them. You could have 100 children, raise them the exact same way, the exact same environment, train them the exact same way with the same coaches, and they won't all be able to shoot at the same level. You know why? Because people have a different natural proficiency to do things. That's all I said. Amen Thompson's natural ability to shoot is lower than other people, which means his ceiling is lower than other people. And someone else said, "Oh, you shouldn't listen to Mars. That Amen Thompson shouldn't give up trying to shoot because Mars." I never said he should give up trying to shoot. What I said was he's never gonna be good at shooting. That doesn't mean you don't try. Never said that either. So can you guys listen to what I'm saying? And depth perception is a real thing. I don't know what to tell you about that. Depth perception is a very real thing. So is balance, so is coordination, all real things. So if that's nonsense to you, it says more about you than me.
Yo, y'all go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button so far. Appreciate everybody that's tapped in. We got another super chat from 8Gay to lead. He says Sabonis is 9-0 versus AD, and Jokic is 7-0 versus AD in the last 16 games.
Okay.
Hey, seems to me like AD might be xenophobic too.
Well, no, it seems like he loves the Europeans. He be letting them win.
There's ain't shit he can do about it. Demontis be taking the ball out of his hands.
He does play bad against the Kings. Like, just generally speaking, he does play bad against the Kings. Maybe that offense is too up tempo for him. I don't know.
And the physicality too. He just can't. He can't handle the physicality.
There's something about the Kings that he just doesn't match up well.
I ain't got shit to say about the Lakers.
Brax with the super chat said, y'all trying to convince me of a Kareem skyhook with Chet and Wemby running around? We done with the 80s.
Yo, the we done with the is gonna be the new yo.
That guy is hilarious. Shout out to him.
That guy is funny, man.
I'm seeing a lot more like people trying to like copy him. It doesn't hit the same. Shout out to him.
It definitely don't. He's the originator.
I see Dub trying to do it too, but this one.
His shit ain't funny though. It's really corny. I hate it.
Here this guy go. Here it is.
There you go.
That's how you know it's really funny.
That's making me mad.
When the old heads start getting offended, yeah.
That shit make me mad. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be watching it, bro. Because I can't stop watching it when it's on. I'm like, what is this? What is he gonna show? That should be making me mad for real.
The real stuff. We done with the 90s. Look at Jordan. Miserable. That shit.
Yo, PK the ruler said, nah, we gotta vouch for Big Al Jefferson.
For
Shout
sure,
out to Al Jefferson making all NBA teams, but not all-star teams. Shout out to Al Jefferson.
I'm gonna have a field day arguing with the youth in 2042 about 2010s basketball. Oh man.
You gonna educate
Styles?
100%.
Love to see it.
Styles Blackman with the super chat said Chill used to never read the chat, and y'all told him to. And y'all told him he should. Now look at the monster y'all created. He's snapping on dudes every day.
I swear I did not mean it. Like when I said buddy, I was just saying buddy in general. I said it. I just stopped for a second. I was like, oh hell. Yeah, speaking of buddy, I'm like, God damn, I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, Chill be reading the chat more than me. Like, damn. Like I don't know while he talking to us, he just be reading the chat, but he see every time buddy type something. Every time.
Chill's like this chat feed, it might strictly be 4 people. It might be Buddy, James B, and then who would you say?
Brax for sure.
And then what's his name? Tank. Yeah.
Tank. Loki, YAMS too. Who else be trolling Chill?
Huncho.
Huncho, yeah.
Huncho ain't been around in a minute. Huncho, where you at?
Tired of getting his lunch took.
That's why your boys call you Luncho.
Crazy thing with Huncho is he don't say nothing else about Huncho. That's all he says. He got one move and one counter for you, Huncho.
That's what that needs to be said. He don't need a left when it comes to going against Huncho.
Huncho, when I was your age, I'd have took your lunch, Luncho, every time. It's hilarious.
Reggie Red said, Damo out here pushing IG pages with cherry-picked clips of screw-ups. I would argue today's players can't make a move without traveling.
And you would be correct for the most part. 2 things can be true. Like those guys in the 80s and 90s can have a lot of bad plays that you don't know about because a lot of those games weren't on TV. And today's players can have a lot of deficiencies. Players can have flaws.
That's it.
Cam with the super chat said, Mars, don't forget, we need to get a third team involved.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
Cozy Newton said Draymond just passed Bird in career 3-pointers made.
We really done with the A's.
We are done.
I remember when Draymond passed MJ. That was like 3 years ago. I remember that. He passed Larry Bird too, and you guys try to tell me he a top 5 3-point shooter. Yeah, we done with it. I'm sorry.
Garbage.
Darren Foss said Ox talking real ball today.
I hope facts. But I hope my Wi-Fi crashes because I can't deal with it. I talk about Draymond Green.
Larry Bird.
Brian Carter said Cat just lost out on all NBA third team stat hours.
Opens up the spot for Wemby.
Damn, he didn't play 65?
Nah.
Oh, wait. Yeah, duh.
They haven't played 65 yet. They've only played 65.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Damn.
He was 5 games short.
Hey, well, that's how
That
it happens.
sucks.
See, you better get out on that court for a couple games.
You got to play 20 minutes, though. You can't just go out there for 1 second.
Yeah, he'll be all right.
20 minutes on a torn meniscus just for an all-NBA team?
I mean, still, I'm saying I think. Well, I'm not saying I think he can, but we never know. He might be able to play through it.
He's not even a guarantee to make it. I wouldn't take that risk.
Or maybe not necessarily for the all NBA team. But I'm saying just because the season they're having, he might if he can. You never know the severity, so it's possible.
Cultured Saunders said, "My bad for bringing up Cat." Laughing emoji.
OU.
Be True 23 said, "Yeah, we done with the 90s."
I'm telling you, man. Listen, the next time I get a chance, not the next time, because I got to play back Friday. The next time I get a chance to be on playback, man, we about to watch some old school basketball, baby. And I'm about to be saying, garbage. Look at him. Who was that? Cool coach? Garbage. I'll have a field day.
We got a few new members. Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Ngaso Ombinge. Appreciate you for coming through. Chris Martin. Shout out to you too. And JF are all new members. Salute to the new members of the party. Lundini the Genie said, "That's not ridiculous to say."
Another chillism.
Not ridiculous.
Yeah. Another chillism.
Jameer Toussaint said, "Jordan had no weaknesses, chill? ? Let's go on playback, please."
He never said he didn't have any weaknesses, Jamar. You got to listen, fam.
Jamaica's Ross Clot Choice said, "MJ in the 80s, JB, let me teach y'all Jacrio."
He just called him Jaylen Brown.
Is that accurate?
Jalen's dope, so.
MJ in today's game, he around Jaylen Brown.
He DeRozan with no left. Oof.
So is he more DeRozan with no left, or is he more Jaylen Brown?
He's more DeRozan with no left.
Nah, he a more athletic Jaylen Brown.
Well, it depends. Are we talking 90s Jordan or 80s Jordan?
80s Jordan.
Oh yeah,
more athletic Jaylen Brown.
More athletic DeRozan. Well, no, yeah, Jaylen Brown. More athletic Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
Y'all know people are watching this, right? People.
Okay, and weren't you the one earlier to say just because people watch it don't mean you gotta be taken serious?
He just cooked you.
Come on, you gotta pick your battles, man. Either they don't take it serious, or I gotta use my platform responsibly because people watch us. Come on,
Yeah, now we supposed to use it responsibly. Gilbert Arenas, he's not going to. You know what I'm saying? He's going to just say shit. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to, be responsible.
We meant to be better. Okay.
Yeah, we gotta hold ourselves to a higher standard, y'all.
I see.
Ski Sama said, "Damo, we done with the 80s. Big trash."
Big trash.
All right, y'all. We got a couple minutes left. Is there anything that y'all want to speak on that you just need to get off your chest?
Basketball's a game of runs, y'all. It's a game of runs. You know what I'm saying? So last night when I'm on the playback, I'm trying to explain to J-Rob, who's hollering and yelling and acting like a child because the Lakers are beating us in the first quarter by, I believe, 19 points. And I'm trying to explain to him, basketball is a game of runs. You're going to have 8 2 runs, 10-4 runs, but it's going to happen and happen and happen. And then everything I said that's going to happen. I told them all we got to do is get it under 11 by the end of this quarter. We get it down to 9. Then we have another 8-2 run, then an 8-0 run, and then we end up beating their ass by 20. I just want to let y'all know, man, listen to the real ball knowers. You know what I'm saying? Jay, and when you see J-Rob to that, make sure you point and laugh. Point and laugh at him. Bully him.
Only thing I gotta say, only thing I want to bring up, I drafted a better team than Mars last night. I just wanted to put that one out there.
You know, Twitter saying Click's team is the best, like I said.
Bro, every time we do a draft,
There's J-Rob right there, y'all. Point
I'm
and
about
laugh.
to ban Click from doing drafts, because every time we do a draft, everyone just says Click drafts the best team, no matter what.
I told you that would happen. I told you.
I'm not even. Well, honestly, he did have 4 top 5 players of all time on his team. It was gonna be hard for anyone not to say that his team was the best team. But I drafted a better team than Mars, like I said, and yeah, man, we done with the 90s, man. We done. Garbage. That's all I gotta say. That's how I want to end it off.
Mars, anything?
Merry Christmas.
We'll be back tomorrow. Same crew, same show, same time, better topics. Y'all tap in. Oh, after this too, open field. Oh, my bad. Open gym after this. And then after that, open field. Y'all be sure to tap in. It's not next. Open gym is now. We out.
Merry Christmas, guys.